Welcome, one and all, to the Oneshot Wonderarium. I am your host, Tony, as always, here with an amazing cast of folks to play Spell the RPG. It is a game, unlike many of the games that folks have played, this game involves letter time. We don't have a visual representation of those letter tiles to show you guys as we're solving out some of these problems. So we will try to keep a little bit more verbal on those as we cast spells. But the idea of this game is we are in a magical modern society where language is magical, but only certain people can harness it. And luckily, I've got those folks here for you. So, if you'd like to follow along at home, Spell the RPG is pretty dang cool. It is created by Whimsy Machine Games, so you can go over and get a copy on their website. They're also the ones that provided us with the online tile generator that we're doing that helps you roll and do all of this online. So if your friends are across the world, you don't have to worry about sharing Scrabble tiles or bananagram tiles or letter tiles of any sort via Discord, because that can get complicated. Thank you to Whimsy Machine Games for making this. It is a very fun game. Let's go ahead and just do player introductions, and then we'll get started in story-wise, and we can do character introductions in the story. So we are just going to start on the left side of the screen here. Actually, I have to pause real quick. Before I do our player introductions, I have to give a big shout out, a thank you to our tech, my government-issued introvert, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Blood, who makes sure that everything doesn't go to shit all of a sudden on us while we're playing, and is part of the heartbeat of Roll for Respawn here. So I just wanted to take a second and say thank you. We appreciate you. And go check out Blood on their socials. We got it in the Roll for Respawn links. It's fine. You'll be able to find it pretty easy. Anyway, so Calliope, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Calliope. I am a middle school teacher and a PhD in using role-playing games for learning. And I've never been on this channel before. I'm super excited to be here. Is that it? Do I need to say anything else?
No,
It's 17 degrees Fahrenheit where I am right now. So bundle up, babies. It's cold outside.
Absolutely it is. Let's go to Jennifer.
Alrighty. Hey, everyone. I am Icy Historian, also known as Jennifer, and I am a middle school teacher, also in the great state of New Hampshire, and a researcher along with Calliope in using role-playing games, board games, all types of analog games in the classroom to teach content, as well as working with geek therapists and game therapists for games in a counseling setting. And I'm also very excited to be here on this channel playing a game that is brand new to me that I'm really excited about.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, somebody who we've had on the channel before. I actually believe, because we did skip our last episode for the holidays, so I think it actually was the last episode of the Wonderarium, back to back, in Whiplash style games. Porna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you for having me on Oneshot Wonderarium. I am Purna M. My pronouns are she, her. I am a TTRPG wearer of many hats based in India. You do a bunch of stuff, writing, editing, layout, occasionally popping up on streams to kill Hitler. It's a thing. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
we're glad to have you all. Just in case that fell by the wayside, we're happy you're here. And also you watching, we're happy you're here as well. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. So our story starts in a sort of Seattle-based school. Now, not everyone who visits Huntsville High or who attends Huntsville High, is a magical student. There are only a few who have the ability to speak and work with magical language. Huntsville High, for your reference, is about 1,000 students. So, depending on where you're from, that's a pretty big school. You know, if you grew up in rural nowhere like me, that's massive. That's insane. Other folks, you know, medium sized, right? But it's got a good amount of students to it. Of those, there's only about 24 magic using students. Huntsville High is set in a pretty normal world. And this story focuses on what's called a speaker program. It is a program to teach young kids how to use those languages at a small high school, like I said. So we are about to start up the day, and I think we can talk a little bit here. At the end, your day usually ends with Ms. Jefferson's speaker ed class. But during the day, each of you are attending your own classes. There's an array of classes that you attend. Of course, everybody attends some level of like the basics, right? Your history, your math, your science, those sorts of things. But each of you has classes, electives that you are in, and clubs and things like that. So let's just peek into a window of the day for each of those students as we go. We're going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with. Let's go ahead and start, Borna, with your character, Amna. She is. What class do we think we want to look in on?
This is like, these are the regular classes, not the end of the day, right? Okay. Math?
Okay.
Yeah. We are in.
Okay.
I am in math class.
Let's start with this. How does she feel about math class?
The means to an end.
Okay. So I am just here so I don't get fined, sort of a thing, right? Okay. So you can you have our math teacher. Go up to my list of staff at class. Our math teacher is Mrs. Zara Rodriguez. And she is talking about so you guys would be probably, this is freshman year for each of you, so we're probably talking an algebra of some sort, and so we're talking line, slope, style, math. There's a big graph drawn on the wall, or on the whiteboard, which I realize is probably outdated in education systems by now, but that's what I got. But anyway, so you can see how I think as this class starts to go, let's look in. So describe Amna for us, and what she is up to during just this normal everyday math lecture. I'm not gonna bore you all with going into a full math lecture here.
Okay, so Amna is petite in build. She has long black, like inky black, really black hair down to her waist, which she ordinarily wears in a braid, but I guess today is just open because it's gonna say it's winter, for why not? And yes, so she is petite, so she kind of tries to bulk up her frame with like layers and layers of like sweaters and things to be like, I'm noticeable.
Okay.
And so the outermost layer is an ill-advised Christmassy sweater with a little it's a red sweater with like a little deer on it, and there's like an "oh dear" thing written on it, which why not? Yeah, and she is farsighted, so she has glasses, but they're like up on her head, and her approach to math is very much, I'm going to do the bare minimum to get a good grade in this class, but I know that in a few years I will never look at a math textbook ever again, kind of approach.
So as Ms. Rodriguez is teaching math, as any student who is not fully applying themselves is known to do, your eyes start to wander around the room. And you see many of the people you've known for several years. They've been with you at other schools in the area. Some are more new than that, but you have many of these folks you've known for a very long time, including the sets of eyes that meet yours. You see two kids. One has completely turned around in their desk, and they have a little rollout magnetic mat and are setting out these little chess pieces onto the mat as Ms. Rodriguez starts to teach. And you can see they catch your eyes. Give you one of these for a second. Or continuing to set up this chessboard.
Is it a friendly?
These are not very friendly folk. These are
Okay.
Two of the members of the chess club, who are wildly egotistical at this school. They are not people who would normally be your friends.
I think if they give me like one of these, then I'll just be like, then I will just look straight at them, but they won't be able to tell whether I'm looking at them or at a point behind their head. Just laser focus through them. Like,
you'll see each of them starts to sweat just a little, like they not, maybe not sweat, but get a little bit uncomfortable by your I assume unblinking stare. By your unblinking stare. And there is a moment when they sort of sense that there's too much attention, and the one in front who had fully turned around turns back around, so as not in this moment to draw too much attention from Miss Rodriguez to them, because they've learned over the years how to not draw as much attention to themselves, that if they're not causing lots of trouble, they might just be able to, coast under the radar. And then they're like that for a minute or two. And you can see they've pulled out a notebook, and there is a slight sound of tearing.
I'm going to, when I hear the sound of tearing paper, I'm gonna, I'm going to write a note also, because I have Post-its, because I don't need to tear a notebook in class like an amateur, and I'm going to write a note about just something incredibly random, like, hey, I think you dropped a pen or your calculator, I don't know, something random, and address it to the person sitting right in front of that person. So the note has to skip them and go one row ahead.
Okay. Do you hand it over and send it along the passway?
I do not pass it through them. I pass it along the next row of students, so that it goes passes them, and then the person ahead of them has to look back. And so if this person turns to the front, is turned to the front, they'll see the person in front of them look back at me and smile.
Okay. Yeah. This person in front of them looks back, slightly confused too, because they have dropped something in this moment, right? But also has some idea that something is up, and so does smile. Slash, there may be a small note at the bottom, like smile back or something, right? And you can tell this chess club member freezes for a second, and then looks down, and starts to go a little bit more furiously at whatever note or thing that they're doing. At the time that this person in front turns back around, this chess club member immediately flips back, picks up the bishop off the table, and as they pick up the bishop on the table, there is a slight moment where you can see straight through the bishop. This has been hollowed out. And you can see that the paper they've ripped, they've also brought into little wads of paper. And they're about to open fire.
I would just like to ask above table, I don't know whether this is an invitation for me to use a spell.
You can deal with this however you think Amna would. This is completely a space for you to use a spell if you would like. It's just, how would Amna deal with this?
I think in general, Amna has the reputation of like, hey, so that she's always going to be like taking pictures and taking notes just for yearbook, like, and making yearbook sound like the most important thing anyone has ever done. So I think always has her camera. So I think we'll pick up her camera and like cover her face basically with it, but clearly point it towards this person.
Do you snap pictures?
No. I'm covering my face.
You can
I take pictures of important things. I don't know why I'm talking to you like I'm an ex-couple, yes.
So you can feel the paper wads start to hit the front of this camera, and then some, of course, hit. They're harder to feel through the layers of your sweater, but like some will hit, your shoulder, like all around, right? Because it's across the room. They're not that accurate. One or two will bounce over the top and land in your hair. And I will iterate. These are dry. These are dry paper balls. They've not stooped so low yet. But you can see that now you've sort of given them a challenge here.
As they I'm assuming purse their lips to send said wads of paper towards me, I do take a photo. So basically I have a photo of them going towards me. I mean, deal with the consequences, Jack. That's how chess club's going to be represented, I guess.
A chess club's going to be represented. Okay. So I think that's where we'll fade out of that for now, if you're okay with that.
Sure. Basically,
otherwise
I feel
we can
like
keep going to more resolution there.
So basically, my thing is that you get the sense that in Amna's mind, she is like always in an episode of Scandal, if she were the Kerry Washington of her high school. Like, she's just like, I am a powerful, strong, independent woman. How dare you flick wads of paper at me in a math class, no less. Yeah.
Grace. Amazing. So let's jump over Calliope. What class do we want to look in on Mackie?
Mackie is an intro to psychology, and she's sitting like right in the middle. She doesn't want to sit in the front and appear too eager, but she doesn't really want to be with the people in the back. And she has all her note-taking things spread out. They all match her Stanley tumbler. She is perfectly matching. It's MAKKI. The I has a heart instead of a dot. Mackie's hair is up in a high ponytail that has like a perfect curl on the back. She has a headband on. She's wearing a short, like a crop sweater that is pink and has stripes. It's like a little fuzzy. And she has a pair of very wide, very in style pants on that have like that stupid, like bag top that only very tiny, tiny teenage girls can wear, and a pair of white Converse that are immaculate. And she is perfect.
Okay. Side note, we did have somebody redeem Sippies this morning, so already, or today. Yeah. So
I don't
if you've
know
got,
what that means.
that means
We
if
have
you've
to
got your
wait to
Stanley
drink?
tumbler, take a drink.
Okay. Great.
It also Stretch was redeemed, so let's take a moment.
Thank you.
Make
Thank
sure we're
you,
staying limber here.
Fred.
So, but yes, we call those Sippies and Stretch.
Great.
Is what they're called. So, so you can see you're sort of in the mid-range of the class.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Is it just you? Do you have a best friend or a cadre of people that you surround yourself with? Do you specifically avoid that sort of thing?
So Mackie doesn't have one particular best friend because so her sisters do. Her older sister and her younger sister, who are also named Mackie because one of them is named Michaela and one of them is named Michaela. But she doesn't because of her disability, which is what when they sort of whisper about her. Her family is talking about the fact that she has magic, and everybody else is so normal in her family, but she has to be the weird one. So she's doing a very good job at not being weird in any other way. And so I think she laughs exactly the right amount, and she's lots of people on her Snapchat, and she is part of the dance team, and she is also in yearbook. So I have a really important question, though. More important than all of that. How important is the chess club, and how cute were the boys? Because that's going to determine if she allows that picture to go into the yearbook.
The chess club is I would say a high medium as clubs relate, right? Like it's not the one that brings in, right? Like it is not the one that gets whole, wings of buildings built and, classrooms named after sponsors and things like that. But it is a club of renown in the area. And the chess club folks usually have several medals to their name each year for different regional and semi-national competitions. They're always in the running for something that sounds very impressive if you have if you're not involved. So and on a cuteness level, I hadn't decided that, so I'm gonna roll dice for it.
Great.
That's a 4 out of 6. So
Okay, it's a maybe. We'll see. We'll see how many compliments she gets on her sweater from the chess club.
That's important.
It's a maybe.
So I think it is before class. Class has not yet gotten into session. And it almost feels like Mackie is the type of person to take her seat and then let other folks come to her.
For sure. And she's already kind of calculated like the best possible place to be, and it is the middle.
And so you can see several people visit you before class. We have. I need to pull my. We have. Sorry, I have my list of students over here. There's Mason Walker, who is captain of the soccer club. Everything here is a club. There are no true teams at this school. So just so you know, I'm going to refer to everything as a club.
I love that.
And Mason is known for losing his temper, especially over sports. But he'll do the sort of sidle into a chair next to you. Yo, Mackie. Hey. You gonna be in our next game?
Maybe.
See for you.
I mean, probably. We'll just have to see. Maybe I'll come and take some pictures for your book.
It's gonna be getting ready for homecoming. It's the biggest game of the year. If you're gonna be at a game, this is the place to be. It's the place where everything that's gonna be happening is happening.
Well, then I hope.
Gotta be there.
Well, I hope. Are you gonna score a lot of goals so I can have some interesting pictures to take?
Oh, I'll be scoring. All of them.
We'll see. We'll see.
And sort of, there will be, I think, some continuous, we'll say semi-flirtatious back and forth there before
Yeah,
Mason.
and
Go ahead.
well, and after he leaves, she like flips to the back and like writes down like social interaction 7 out of 10. Like how she keeps track of like sort of how everything went, so she can see. Like, okay, we'll see.
And then after that, you'll see sort of rolling her eyes, looking up Juno Kim. Juno Kim is very crisp in. They're the type of high school student that is wearing like button-ups with a tie every day, and she is president of the debate club. You look very delightful today.
Thanks, Juno.
I
like your tie.
Thank you. This one's one of my favorites. But part of a specialty collection, you see, for very special days. Of course, as we get close to big tournaments coming up and some things going on, today's going to be a very special day. You wouldn't happen to have any interest at all in maybe being part of the debate club next year, would
you? So this is out of character. I'm trying to think if Mackie would or not. Can you tell me a little bit about the debate club? Everything Mackie does is strategic to be as normal as possible. So this is so out of character. Can you tell me, like, what is the social standing of the debate club?
So what I can tell you, because as a former debate club person myself, I can ignore the clatter as I get a prop ready. I can tell you that not only can I tell you pros and cons here, but Juno will pull out a yellow legal pad, much like this one, and start flipping through. Well, here's what I can tell you about it. Debate Club is, by the way, one of the foremost things that future employers will look for on a resume. You can see that 9 out of the 10 top Ivy League school presidents were, in fact, debate club presidents themselves. You can see that if you look at the statistics of scholarship placement versus, and they are just going off on the pros of debate club. They have facts and figures, and they'll quote a statistic and maybe a president or two about how important their debate club was to them.
Juno,
Yes.
give me the legal pad right now. And I throw it in the trash. And I give her, I'm like, you may never use a legal pad again. That is social suicide. And I give her a beautiful, bespoke notepad that matches mine, and I say,
As Juno walks away, you can see her. I'm gonna get my hand in the shot here for a second. You can see her with her pen doing this, and I dropped her, of course, doing this sort of a spin thing that I don't know how many folks do this. I learned this in debate, and all the debaters I knew do this, where they spin it on the top of their hand here and catch as a nervous habit when they're prepared. You can see Juno takes it and walks away, and just their hand is sort of shaking as they spin it and keep spinning it faster and faster and faster as they sit down.
I'm gonna smile beneficently at her. I don't think Megan is 100% sure. I'm not sure. I think she's trying to be really helpful, and wasn't 100% sure what to say, but now at least, oh god, that Lego paper is so embarrassing. So now we just gotta get that Juno a Stanley that will match, and that'll help a little bit. We'll see. We'll think about the debate club another time. It's almost time for class. We gotta get over this.
And class will begin. Intro to psychology here.
I'm definitely never spinning that pen at a time that anyone could ever see me, but I might try it.
Absolutely. I think then, if you're okay, we will fade out of that. All right, Jennifer. I'm already mixing up names. It's fine.
That is okay.
Jennifer. What class is Connie in right now?
I think Connie is in what year are we?
I think freshman year.
Okay, so I definitely think Connie is in she's in her she's taking an elective class that she had to petition to get into. It's normally reserved only for juniors, and she successfully lobbied school administration, claiming that was ageist and a discriminatory policy that served to disenfranchise students from underrepresented groups. And she is taking it's a poetry of unheard voices class, and it's supposed to be like a junior elective, and it's all about like the poetry of marginalized groups throughout history. Yeah, she's in that elective in the English department.
Repeat the class name for me one more time.
It is poetry from unheard voices.
Amazing. And so, as you sort of sidle into your class, there's obviously an age difference in all of your classmates versus you. It is none of the people that you know, for better or worse, from your year. And there's always sort of a side eye when you enter the room of, are they really here again? All right. Thought this was like a one-time deal. So there's a little bit of heat. How do you deal with a little bit of that side eye, a little bit of that? It's almost a jealousy adjacent, right? Like it probably is jealousy, we'll say jealousy adjacent for the moment.
Well, social stigma is the tool of the oppressor. And so I think that, like, she's not trying to hurt anyone. She just, like, really wanted to take the class and didn't understand why there was an arbitrary, like, you can't do this. So, like, she's not there, lighting fires. She's just there because she wanted to take the class. And no one could come up with, like, a really good reason why it was only locked off to juniors. And so I think her sort of way is in a very nice, non-confrontational way, being kind of like, I'm just here. I'm here. So, deal. I'm here. And I think she's, like, super, like, nice to everyone, and always, like, she's sort of killing them with kindness.
Yeah, what is so there's almost and what is can we get a physical description as well?
Yeah, so I think she is absolutely a hippie chick. All of her clothing is thrifted. So she is wearing, I think, a, like, pair of, like, 70s, like, B. Arthur adjacent Golden Girls-esque, like, woolen trousers with, like, a big chunky sweater, but, like, somehow she makes it, like, really work. Like, she spent a lot of time on Instagram learning about how to tailor thrifted clothing, because I don't know if you know this, but, like, fast fashion is, like, an incredibly unethical business, and it really is all about circular sustainability. So she's I think she's, of average height, I think, like, 5'7", and long, like, shoulder length brown hair that is, like, kind of wavy, and she kind of keeps it that way, like, going for, like, a very 70s aesthetic. She does wear some sort of light makeup, but it's all vegan products, cruelty free. And I think today she's sort of toned down the makeup look, but sometimes her looks can be kind of wild because it's all about self-expression. It's not about conforming to beauty standards. And she is wearing a pair of, like, thrifted, because it is winter time, like, those, like, duck boots, like, but, like, when they were still good. And they're thrifted because she obviously, like, walks to campus or rides her bike because it's a much more sustainable form of.
Awesome. So as you walk into class, you get there a little bit earlier than most of the other classmates, because the later form students tend to wait until the very last second to swoop into their seats. And I think you always, in almost the thirst of knowledge and in wanting to learn more than even what's being taught, I think you always strike up a conversation with the instructor for the class. The instructor for the class is Mr. Eamon Fitzpatrick, who is everything about this person is slightly askew. Right, their hair is messy. There's always, like, a tag on their shirt that's hanging out. Okay. Do you want to be talking? Do you want? Sorry, we are speaking our feelings today.
Yeah.
But
wow, there's so much wildlife outside of our high school. I can't believe this bird sanctuary directly surrounding this high school.
I think that the environmental club's rewilding efforts are to be credited for that.
Dr. Eamon, in fact, fosters a bird and has a bird just in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everything is slightly askew, right? There's extra patches on a lot of his clothing. which also helps for the idea of sustainability, but is also much easier than remembering to go shopping for new clothing when you need it. Sometimes is just to, you've already got some patches. Just they do the stick-ons these days. You can just slap that baby on and keep going. And so you can see, like, even some of these patches are overlapping, and their glasses are sort of, if you look kind of closely, are glued together with some sort of a flexible glue, as they've, you know, stepped on them at one point or broken them. And you can see Dr. Eamon goes, did you, it's about time that I ask about the extra reading that we've assigned for you. How did you find our latest explorative book?
Is that question posed to the whole class or just to Connie?
That is just you. So this is, you are the type of student, I think, that is drinking this up so much, you have asked for more recommendations and more things. Does that jive with your character idea?
100%.
Okay. I was like, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I think that she's taking every class that this person on. And this is in front of the rest of the class.
This is a pre-class, so
okay.
Not all of the students are in there. It's not like everybody's staring at you. This is you've sort of rocked in pretty early before the bell, and this teacher is sort of checking in on how that progress is going.
I think that she kind of lights up. I think that in the regular class, Connie is absolutely the sponge, but she tries really hard to not be the, like, obvious teacher's pet in the class, because she knows that, like, she does have the social awareness to be like, I can't be shouting out all the time. So, like, these are her time. Like, I think she gets to class early because this is where she kind of gets all of that, like, teacher's pet obsessiveness out and, like, feels like she's really, like, part of the revolution. So I think she says, like, I loved it. You know, it really, I could draw a lot of comparisons to our earlier reading of Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And I felt as though there was a lot, it made me really think of the, you know, practices of dealing, of navigating Indigenous identity in a post-colonial world. And it makes me really look forward to our unit on subaltern studies in South Asia. I'm very excited.
That is one of my favorites in as well. It is always fascinating to me because we have so much of the curriculum is North American specific. It is always a delight when I get to present to my students voices that are outside. And you, of course, will have already dipped your toes into that.
I really I agree. It's difficult. It's a difficult balance that we have to strike, of course. But I really felt that this reading gave me an opportunity to challenge my sort of ethnocentric upbringing, and really made me rethink the sort of positionality of where we come from when we read and interact with these different types of literature.
That is a word that is good to keep top of mind as we move forward in this the positionality. There is more to be said, and in, I think, that moment, some of the other class starts coming in, there is if you continue this conversation longer, there is a chance that this class will, many of your classmates will see you in deep conversation with the teacher, and it may be problematic to beat the teacher's pets and allegations too far. So do you continue talking, or if you try to extricate yourself from this situation, how do you do so?
I think in her 100% recycled notebook, she sort of opens up to the page where they had discussed sort of the extra readings, and she kind of leans forward and like looks sort of around, and she points to the next one on the list, and she says, I'm gonna do this one. And she kind of smiles, and like she smiles and like thanks him and goes to her seat, and she picks a seat that is like at the end of a row, kind of on the side, like so that there's only one person next to her, and she like shifts the desk a little bit so that she's angled like toward the class a little bit, but her back is more to the wall than to another.
You can as Mr. Fitzpatrick sort of starts to get up and move around the room, you can see one of the other students goes, "Hey, Mr. Fitz," and they come up and sort of act really, really chummily, under the guise of asking a question of Mr. Fitzpatrick. And when they leave, you can see there is a piece of paper taped to his back that says, "This is a patch covering a hole in the back of my jacket.
What is this student? Do we have a name for this student?
Yeah. This student is going to be Emiko Harper.
Okay. So
She is a junior. I sort of almost like we'll say like a skater vibe.
Okay. And I am gonna say that I don't think that I don't really know how much Connie really cares necessarily about her reputation. Like, she doesn't really want to necessarily like start unnecessary fights, but if the cause presents itself, she will absolutely take it up. And she, I think, as Mr. Fitz like makes his way as he's talking, she will take the paper off and hand it to the student. I imagine he sits kind of close to her because also against the wall, kind of. And she leans over, and I think, can I use Justice Arc to point out a really embarrassing spelling mistake? Like, kind of like that. The justice of like you're trying to make fun of someone, but like now by like making them look stupid, but now it's like turned around on you.
Yeah. So the way spells work, and this is more for effect than it is for anything. For the spell to work, go ahead and let's see. That was that your
That is hope, and I have
for your
3 in
hope.
hope.
So go ahead and roll your 3 dice for hope.
Okay, and just above the table, I'm not. Do I have to roll them in the letter creator thing?
You do not.
Okay, so I could just roll
eh,
3 random d6.
Yes, you are looking for 4s and above.
Okay. So I'm rolling 3 d6. Okay. I got a 6, a 3, and a 1.
Do it. So yeah, you're just looking for a single 4. Beyond that, it's an escalation of effect based on how many successes you get.
Okay.
So because you got 1 that is more than 4, that's a success there. And this being an unknown person, I'm not having them roll against you, so there is no, competing roll for you to beat. You can see Emiko, which I didn't specify this, so this one's on me. Is she her?
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like I said, I didn't specify this, so that's for me. But Emiko, you can see has misspelled some very basic things on the homework that everybody's about to turn in, but it's typed. So not only are you pointing out something semi-publicly, but there's no way to fix this before Mr. Fitzpatrick grades it.
Oh, okay. So I thought I was pointing out a spelling mistake on the sign.
Oh, on the sign. Sorry,
on the sign on his back. So, as he's walking around, checking papers or whatever, he takes the sign off of his back, and there's it's the wrong hole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that. So yeah, there's absolutely, it's WHOLE.
Yeah.
So how is this spell casted for you?
So I think what happens is because this is an injustice and it's someone using power unfairly, it's creating a really unfair power imbalance on this professor who's not harming anyone, and so I think that sort of is what allows the spell to be cast. And the whole point of it is to sort of bring, not perfect, because it never is, but bring some level of balance back to the power. So since the power imbalance was to make him look stupid, and he doesn't know that the sign is there, it's a play on his intellect and whatnot, and it's done publicly, that's where the spelling mistake kind of is rebalancing that, because it's well, now you not only used power for cruelty, but now it sort of is reverted back onto you. And so I think she takes the sign down, and the letters of the mistake, I don't know if they necessarily glow, but there is something about it that draws the eyes of the people who had been the bystanders to the injustice to the mistake on the paper. So it's kind of taking the effect that Emiko wanted Mr. Fitz to feel, and now Emiko has to experience. So she takes the paper, and then she very nicely and kindly kind of oh no, stage whispering, it's the wrong hole, so this doesn't very funny. Also, it's THI.
So I think as that happens, as you whisper it, the spell writes the words that they've misspelled over their head, like it's like this glowing sign that they can't see.
Yeah.
That's I don't know how to spell, all of the words that they've misspelled here, because the idea of this being rebalancing is that it has to be public. So,
Yes.
despite the fact that you've quietly whispered it in,
Mhm.
this is, and as you turn away and go to sit down at your desk, you can hear their other classmates starting to, like a pack of hungry wolves, turn.
On
Yes.
me or
No. On them.
I want to suggest that Amna has previously gifted you a pack of like emoji stickers that are just the rolling eyes emoji. So I feel like maybe you can just stick the rolling eyes emoji over the W when you're handing it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like it's a little like she says it in a way that anyone observing would be like, "Oh, like she's trying to be helpful." But it's a little bit like tell Cersei I want her to know it was me. Like, here you are. Like, and she just sort of sits back down.
And I think that's where we fade out of that. Unless you'd like more to happen in that scene.
No, I think that she just I don't think that she really cares necessarily for the opinions of these bystanders who weren't going to support, like who were going to just allow this unkindness to happen. She really doesn't care necessarily about them. If they were important or valuable or whatever to her, they would have stood up and done the right thing. So whether or not they're irritated is like of no consequence.
Absolutely. So we are going to skip to the last class of the day, Speaker Ed with Miss Jefferson. And Miss Jefferson is today's lecture is about the physical aspect of casting, and how important it is that when you have established a spell to keep that physical casting the same over and over and over. That if you add a flourish here, if you subtract that flourish, that may change how the word is pronounced, or in magical language, much like adding an accent over a letter might do, or adding an apostrophe in here or there. It's much the same sort of thought process. So you can see the class is working on just a simple couple of spells, and each person is working on their signature spell in doing that exactly right every single time. How is everyone's casting? Because this will be a second to sort of feature casting before we get into more of the narrative here.
Clarifying question. Are you asking if they're like good at it, or are you asking what they do when they're casting?
A little bit of both. A little bit of like, not everybody is an expert. So certain characters may be good or bad at different things with it. But then also it is more about stylistically. So.
I definitely think that, just to sort of go so that I don't take up more airtime, I think that Connie was her magic was very much supported by her family. Like, it's anti-establishment, it's very, like, distributed leadership, like, it's very much, like, the vibe of her household. So I think that was very much supported, so I think she's pretty efficient, and I think because so much of her vibe is about like social, like sort of justice and empathy and all of that. I do think that there is a almost like very subtle hand motions with her casting, almost like Thieves Can't in another tabletop role playing game, so that she is able to like do her workings, like it's not about her, it's about like doing the right thing. So I think it's kind of understated and not very flashy.
So, question for you, because you say thieves can't, which is a hand language, but your character oftentimes is a little bit more accessibility focused.
Yeah.
Is it closer to the magical version of a sign language?
Yeah, I absolutely think so, because I think that she is. I think that that's amazing and brilliant. Because I think that she kind of wants anyone who is like, it's sort of like anyone who can help, like, let's join it in together and like overthrow, like very much like the anonymous white hat hacker but magic version.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, and so you see this very much hand-based, positional, communicative casting. Corna, how does your character, how does Amna cast?
So you're asking specifically about the starting spell, or?
So I was gonna have folks do their signature spells, but you could do your starting spell. But in general, we're talking a little bit about the mechanics of how you cast. What is a general method? I know when spells are saved, they have to be recorded. And that can be, I know you were taking pictures earlier, that can be through photography, videography. I want to make sure that's open to you if you choose to take it. So one, I think especially with your character being really big into the photography, how is your spell recorded, and then how is it repeated?
I don't know if this works. But I think Amna kind of has almost kind of a scrapbook grimoire, as you said, like, so with the photography. So there's it's a cross between, or let me put it this way, it's the bullet journal version of a grimoire. so so you have photos that Anna has taken, and like the initial intent of the spell, some notes about like could have done this better, whatever, like just remember to do this next time, kind of little notes as well. And like, yeah, so I think also the general style of casting, I think, is, so I think when attempting magic is the only time that Anna doesn't feel the need to like have all these layers and assert her presence, because her presence is there. Magic doesn't need to be larger than life to be real. So I think in the last class of the day, she's like stuffed all of the extra layers into her locker and is now just wearing like a plain black t-shirt and jeans, and like a long sleeve black t-shirt and jeans, and is just like, so because of that, like you can see her long sinewy arms, and you can see how gracefully they move as is a signature spell. So it kind of takes from the signature spell.
And then finally, Mackie.
So Mackie is really secretly seething because she's never going to get to be the captain of the dance team if she has to keep going to this stupid class when everybody else is getting ready for the solo that's going to be at homecoming. Because she has to be in this class and everybody else has a free period.
Yeah.
Doing this stupid magic. And so her first spell, so she, her mom was prom queen here, and her older sister was prom queen. And so now the pressure's on. And so she keeps her magic as subtle as possible. And her first spell, I think, is a hair flip. Like that's part of why she always has her hair up in a ponytail, because it's a hair flick. So you can't. So that way, if the spell doesn't work, you can't really tell because she's flicking her hair around anyway. But her signature spell is flatter, and I think the reason it doesn't work 100% anymore is a couple years ago when she started it, she attached it to a hydro flask, which is a kind of cup. It's a kind of like cup that has a open top. But now we've all moved on to Stanley's. So she has to sip out of Stanley, and Stanley has a straw. So it's changed just as you said, that changing just as the teacher said that changing the way it's delivered changes it a little bit, that has happened to her. Because now she has to use the Stanley cup because she wouldn't be caught dead with a hydro flask.
Absolutely.
Maybe 13-year-old Mackie should have considered hydration fads when planning out her spell, but who would have known that hydro flasks wouldn't stay popular forever? Really?
Yeah, that is wild. That they wouldn't stay popular. So, you know,
I just want to be clear too. Is Mason here? He's not. Mason and Juno are not here, right? They are not magic users.
They are not.
Okay, great.
One of the two chess club guys is, and about 20-something other folks, of course.
I would like to, if it's possible, I would like to say that Mackie is probably the only person in her social circle who is part of this. And that's part of what makes it awkward, is that everybody else is on the dance team is flirting with the boys in the soccer team, and except she's stuck here.
Yeah, and that is one of life's biggest issues.
So bad.
It's just such a problem.
I think they're all outside in the doing stuff like out the window, practicing the dance routine, where she can see them in their hottie hots, which are these very small shorts that are also very expensive. And in the bird sanctuary. There was a big fight last year, the year before they got there, between the dance team and the Eco Club over the rewilding of the outdoor dance practice area.
Amazing. Okay. So this class, we're not going to get too far into it at the moment, because narratively, one of the more interesting things is what happens at the end. At the very end of class, there is a moment where class is about to be dismissed. It's sort of one of those, work on your own work type of times. And the three of you are called up by Miss Jefferson. Well, ladies, it does seem like you remember the vote we had in class the other day. It does seem like the three of you were nominated and appointed to the Chili Charm Festival committee. So we need to think about themes for that and start going on ways of making this. Yes.
I just if you're on the committee, does that automatically disqualify you from being Miss Chili Charm?
It does not. Does not
Okay.
disqualify you from being Miss Chili Charm.
Okay, because my mom was Miss Chili Charm. My sister is Miss Chili Charm. It's really important that I keep up the tradition.
Congratulations to them.
I was Little Miss Chili Charm when I was in 6th grade.
Amna's gonna put her hand out to Mackie and just like on her shoulders go. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's hear what we have to do.
So, I am going to need the dance is in a few days, and I'm going to need.
Wait, this is before homecoming?
Yes.
You left out Little Miss Chili Charm and Chili Charm planning until 3 days?
Chili Charm has always been.
This year's Chili Charm? I thought it was for next year.
Oh no, this is.
Chili Charms ordered.
It's fine. We'll get new notebooks for this.
Chili Charm bracelet come in time. You know we have to have a new bracelet every year, a new charm bracelet for Chili Charm.
It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. We'll work with local businesses. We'll get them to repurpose last year's thing, and we'll just don't worry about it.
Absolutely not repurposing. I am not going to be repurposed Miss Chili Charm.
Oh, I know. We could get your mom's Chili Charm bracelet and be like vintage and use that one.
You could. We'll see.
It is also.
Anyway, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Like all three of us are straight up ignoring Jefferson.
You're appreciating how important Miss Chili Charm and Little Miss Chili Charm are. And what about Chili Charm? What about Little Miss Tot Chili Charm?
Actually,
sorry. Hold on one second.
Are we only people who are appreciating the actual importance of Little Miss Chili Charm?
Are we? Wait. No, we have to do that. We have to organize it for the little ones as well. Really? Like that seems like a lot.
It's a different committee. There's a different.
I bet they were organized more than 3 days ago.
Well, it's mostly parents. So.
What are the actual expectations that you have for us? Since it's
what's our budget?
We've kind of gotten a few steps too far.
Well, budgets are slim this year. We have much of the supplies already purchased. There's some things that we will probably need you to procure. But the first official job of this committee is to choose a theme. I have a few here. And she pulls out a yellow legal pad. I have a few.
Also appalled by this.
There's a tier. How is she gonna start her reigning championship as Miss Chili Charm with such a ragtag bunch? Michaela's never gonna let it go.
Don't worry, Mackie. I'm telling you, I have just the right Archer and Olive notebook for this. It's gonna be great. I have some like high GSM paper for you guys as well. It's gonna work out. All we need to come up with a good plan is the right planner. And I think, on that note, why are things being bought already without like even nominating the committee? Like, you buy the things for the event and then you nominate the students who are going to do stuff? Like, who
And
wrote
supplies.
that process?
Supplies. No? Nothing theme specific.
I think we should do fire and ice. And we could
I
have
do
chilled,
have
like chili, and really fiery chili.
I do have a list of pre-approved themes that we work, which is how it has historically been done.
I turn my eye to Olivia Baker, who is out the window in her hottie hots, impressing Mason and the boys, doing like a very sinuous backflip as I am up here with second-rate Chili Charm committee, and I'm grinding my teeth, my perfectly veneered teeth.
So, am I to understand that we have been nominated by our fellow students to establish the theme of this Chili Charm Festival, but in reality, we are merely selecting from a predetermined list of institutionally approved themes?
Yes, with this sort of a deadline left. Absolutely.
If I may also understand that that deadline was set by the institution.
I have the same deadline you do.
No, I wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. Please continue, and I would love to hear the list of pre-approved hegemonic themes for us to select from.
Well, all right. Our themes are Can't Fight the Moonlight, Staying Up Late, you know, the dance, that sort of thing. There's one
Staying
here.
up late? Was this list by the PTA?
They were part of the selection committee, yes.
With all due respect, this is not particularly Sigma behavior.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Okay, fine,
Right.
just say it. Just say it. Oh my god, Olivia's shorts are so short.
Okay. There is a more maybe risque option that you might like here. A Cupid's ball that is of course themed around romance and
Heteronormativity.
If we have that, will we have the auction where they auction off the men?
I do not believe that is a part of the Chili Charm dance anymore after the lawsuit in '93.
Yeah, that was my mom's year. That's how my sister was born.
Wow.
The oldest one, Macadamia. She goes to boarding school.
Yes, I'm familiar with I'm familiar with that. The next one
Academia's
is
already been through academia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's kind of a nut.
Um,
No, we don't talk about her. We don't talk about the incident from 1993.
no, we will not. The next one is Happily Ever After. A more fairy tale idea.
And
So the theme is false hope.
how many of those
The
fairy-
theme is sorry.
Nope.
So the theme is false hope, or heteronormativity, or being
Or like
up
gas.
late.
Happily Ever After has
Moonlight, for the record. You can go whatever direction you want with Moonlight. I'm trying to help.
No, well, sure we can, because no one can stop the moonlight. apparently.
Well, you
What
know
even
how-
is that
well-
song?
Remember when the lacrosse boys all were mooning everybody, though?
I don't think that should be the theme.
And you can see she's taking notes of this now.
And happily ever after is just like for chili. That's awkward.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe there are still several more options. How about Magic Among the Stars? It's very out of this world. You can see
Oh
she's
my God.
kind of proud of this one.
I think this is the first one that like Connie sort of like perks up with a little bit, thinking of like a moody astrology like theme. Again, going with like Kitchen Witch, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I did gift some amazing solar powered fairy lights with excellent sodium battery storage.
Maggie,
I love that
Maggie's
idea.
looking out the window, and there's definitely people exchanging snaps without her, and she's like, "Yep, that's great. Whatever. Yep. I got somewhere to go soon,
Got
so
two votes
that's fine.
on that.
That sounds
We have
great.
just a few more. We've just a few more. We can go through them very quickly
Fine.
if you like Magic Among the Stars. There is a masquerade ball. That could be an option there. There's also a secret garden and undersea enchantment.
Oh, I like the fish one.
You like the fish one? Okay. How does
There's
everyone
no
else
such
feel?
thing as a fish.
You don't believe in fish.
No, I believe in fish. There's just no such thing as it doesn't refer to anything in particular. It's a generic word, and we
It's
are
a
not going to
generic-
do a generic dance.
Well, the generic dance is under the sea, or undersea enchantment.
We could buy a bunch of fish and then like put them in really tiny fish bowls and have them be the centerpieces with like a little floating candle. That'd be so cute. I saw that on Pinterest.
Oh my gosh, and then maybe we could just skin a couple of mink and wear that around if we're going to have animal cruelty the dance.
That'd be gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are
That
just
would be gross, Mackie. That is very.
We can
very
just
true.
put them in the river after, or like down the toilet, and they can find their way back, like in Finding Nemo.
Okay, so okay, can we please get back to you with a new list or a revised list of ideas? We're happy to present them to the PTA or whatever super committee is supposed to make all the decisions and then pretend they were ours, and then we can kind of like be there and present them, and then everybody can be happy with the theme that the high schoolers came up with for a high school dance.
Understand where your frustration comes from. No, we cannot.
Okay, fine. Let's just do the star one.
Yeah,
Okay,
fine.
it's fine.
Great.
It's fine.
Magic Under the Stars. I'm so glad that
Sounds-
we came up with this organic idea from the student body.
Well, since some people care more about fish than their own popularity, I
How
guess
about
how
this?
we're gonna have to do it.
How about this? How about this? How about I can't guarantee anything. We come up with one. We come up with one idea that all three of you like.
Okay, ready? Slutty Vegas.
I'm actively going to
Absolutely
push you out
not.
a window right now.
Right? Everybody just wear
Vegas
something
out
super
back
hot, like Vegas.
sometimes.
People could be like,
This-
like
This is
gangsters.
the reason why they make me present you a list.
You know, I'm starting to understand that there are some institutional decisions and processes that must be upheld in order to maintain a
Beach
level
theme.
of group cohesion. So Magic Under the Stars is going to be great.
Beach theme, all sand on the floor. Bikinis.
Magic Under the Stars has been selected. That's our good to go. you all are free tomorrow. We can start gathering things for Magic Under the Stars. You can get some things from different classes around and enlist the help of some other people up around the school to help you out. You don't have to do this alone. And I'm here, of course, for any help I can provide. Yeah. Well, this is gonna be great. And she'll like try to do a group thing, like everybody put their hands in. All right, go team. Thanks. That was great.
I don't think Mackie or Amna have moved their hands at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Or-
it was absolutely a compliance activity on Connie's part, and she made that obvious.
Oh yeah,
Malicious compliance.
fully seen.
Making extreme eye contact with everyone. Mackie takes out her hand sanitizer, like Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer that smells like, like crystalberry or whatever, and like cleans it off, even though she didn't actually touch anyone. She's like, I gotta go.
All right.
This is really great. Thank you for the opportunity.
Welcome. The next day, each of you arrive at school, and school is aflutter. There is like normally what happens with school is they open the doors, right, and then there are some kids that will hang around the hallways or go hang in their lockers. They've not opened the doors yet. Some weird things have happened but you can hear murmurs of a couple of different things that go around. So where would each of you go to? Who would each of you talk to learn about, like, if you walked up and the doors were shut and people were milling about, who would you go to like get information, or would you just chill for each of you?
I think I would go to to a member of the cleaning staff that are probably somewhere nearby, because they also have to get into the building, because they always know what's going on. And yeah.
Okay. What else is everybody doing? So we've got cleaning staff.
I'm gonna be. Oh, go ahead, Jennifer.
No, go.
Well, I would know something was going on because I would be on Snapchat, and I would have been following that to see what happened. But probably Olivia Baker, if she's already there, the current captain of the cheer squad, or excuse me, dance team. We're a team. Only cool girls get on. Let's be clear about that. Everything else can be a club. I probably would go over near there. There's probably a place where we always hang out, and I would listen in, but I wouldn't ask her directly because I don't want her to know that I don't already know.
Okay. Hearing. And then
I think Connie might not clock it because she and the environmental club are tending the community organic garden in the morning, and they're making sure, because they want to make sure that they do the watering at the coolest possible point of the day, and checking in on the organic garden. And so I think that it's that, and then there's, I know it wasn't necessarily on our list, but I imagine that there's also I'm thinking of another nerd club. like like the science club is doing like a botany project with the environmental club. It's just a pile of losers.
It's Ocean Bowl. We had this in my high school. Ocean Bowl. It's like Quiz Bowl, but only for the ocean. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's absolutely Science Bowl.
And I
would not have expected that.
I actually have changed. I think it depends if Juno comes by. Like, I might make conversation with Juno about the notebook to get the tea from Juno. Like, so, right? Like, I was just being helpful to see if, like, she has settled into her new notebook. Not like we would actually hang out. Too. Because Juno might know things, because she's the head of the debate team.
Okay. So let's we will start probably with Juno here, and then we'll move over to cleaning staff, and then I think we'll finish with the gardens. So
I'm on my way to find Olivia Baker and the gang, but I'm gonna maybe I just run into Juno.
Hi, Mackie.
How's the notebook working out?
Oh, it's you can see her sort of like get kind of shifty. It's great. It's really awesome. Nice lines.
Juno.
Really smooth to write in.
Juno. And I look up and down the hall and nobody's there, and I'm like, a legal pad is social suicide. I am trying to help you out.
Social suicide, but it's also the best writing utensil, but it's fine. It's whatever. Don't worry about whether or not something's usable. It'll be different thing. Like, look at all the cons. Okay, but and she pull out her notebook and she's written out a list of pros and cons of this new notebook, and you can see
in the notebook.
In the notebook.
You are doing a good job.
The cons are that. Look at how much less information that I can use in any one, and then I've got to keep flipping through the pages, and it's much harder to keep track of things. I've got to.
You have all these notes.
I've already used up like a quarter of this thing because it's this big. How do you survive on this?
Well, otherwise it's not going to fit in your purse.
I wear a backpack.
We haven't even talked about the backpack yet.
It's the most convenient method. It's called a book bag for a reason. It has books in it. You can't put books in it.
This is a notebook. It's okay. Juno, what is happening at school? Why are we in this? Where is everybody? Why are we having this conversation?
And you can see there's sort of a bit of a breath as they go, oh, thank God it's not about maybe I can get the notebook back. Oh, God. Okay. I don't know. I was hearing some different things from different people, but I'm not cool like you, so I wouldn't know.
Well, no, clearly, but you know everything. You're the head of the debate team.
This is not about debate. This is not like newspaper. The newspaper people, they know what's up. They're the ones that are always plugged in, the gathering sources. That's suspect. Just saying. I don't know. It sounds like someone caused
sound argument.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a sound argument. That's like correlation, not causation. And I'm gonna stomp off. It's dead to me. She didn't use my notebook. She doesn't like it. She doesn't know the difference between correlation and causation. She's not even wearing a cute tie. Dead.
Not even wearing a cute tie. I'm just breaking
off.
Juno's heart over here.
Yeah, well, that's what she gets for not taking my advice.
Okay, so cleaning stuff. So I think, Connie, you are not. You don't use the entrance that the normal students use. I think that you have befriended some of the cleaning staff, and I think you have sort of found your way into using alternate entrances, because there's four different. Or no, sorry. Yeah, I mixed up which person. No wonder the faces I was getting were very confused. So, sorry. Okay. I got a work message that I was very confused by. Nothing. Somebody's graduating.
This is what happens when you don't have the right notebook.
This is. You're right. This is the problem. You know what? Let me actually fix that. All right, we're good. I got the right notebook now. I got the right.
Oh. Like,
Anyway.
you have to name this episode The Notebook, and then people will just be like, this is not as tearful as I thought it would be, or at least not for the same reasons.
Oh God. All right. So, but yeah, I'm not.
I've made my way into the school because I have the secret.
Yes, you have.
ways.
I think. Yeah, I think you have. There is something about people who take photographs for a living. You see the people in the background, and there's also the methods for getting really good yearbook photos are oftentimes places that other people aren't allowed to go. So you have cultivated a relationship with the maintenance staff because they oftentimes have to let you in the attic or the rafters or these places on top of the scoreboard for the right angle, like places that students aren't normally allowed. You have let yourself sort of in. There's a key under the mat because some of the maintenance folks are forgetful. You let yourself in through that entrance. One of the things that you find is that you can see several maintenance people are sort of sitting around and they're, having morning coffee, a couple of donuts, little things, right? And there are a couple that are sort of moving very, very quickly. But there's also a crowd of them, right? Like this is not as many maintenance people in this area as you would normally find. And they all look tired. No, what are you doing here this morning? You can hear one of them reaches out to you. We have it's Nia. Nia is one of the middling higher ups, not head janitor or head maintenance, but a team lead, right, for one of the teams. She sort of looks at you. What you up to, Amna?
Just here for school. I needed to get some layout stuff, play around with it, and I can't when there's so many people around, so I just I came a little bit early today. But I know I wanted quiet, but this is... What is this? Wishful thinking?
So school's been pushed back today. There was an incident, and we're not letting students in the building for another. Hey, Greg, do you think 15 minutes? Yeah, 15. I don't know. I think so. We're getting there.
Is everything okay, or is anyone hurt? What happened?
Oh, no one is hurt. But there's just some vandalism happened in the school last night, and we're cleaning it up before we let students in. And this is off the record, by the way.
Sure. Why? You realize most of the kids who come in here go through the school day like zombies, right? Like, why would it matter if there's some random spray paint? I assume. Is it spray paint?
There was some. The art room has been vandalized. Yes.
I'm sorry. The what?
Art room.
Art room. Okay. The art room has been vandalized. Like
weird. It wasn't. I don't know. I just know what I've been told.
I mean, come on. I don't care about the art room. So there's more paint on the walls of the art room than there normally is. Whatever. Can I just please go to the yearbook room, and I need 15 minutes is great. 15 minutes of peace is fine. Please. Come on. Yeah, you know me. I'm not a troublemaker.
I will escort you to the yearbook room. How about that?
So before this, I think Amna really didn't care. If there was like just some weird, vaguely embarrassing thing in the art room. But the fact that she's being escorted is like spidey senses are tingling. So she's gonna go like, yeah, sure. Always thought escorts were just for dances, but sure, let's do this. After you.
Yeah, and Nia is going to take you a sort of roundabout path to the yearbook room. This is the way that keeps you out of the way of the staff that need to get things done.
So just because Anna is definitely someone who would notice what the path is avoiding, aside from the art room, like what else is clearly being circumvented? I do.
So
I'm in yearbook. Like,
you
I gotta
are in
ask
your
these
book.
questions.
I absolutely. So you have, you know that things on that pathway, the pathway that you did not take. Actually, there were like a couple of different pathways you didn't take. There's a science lab on that pathway. There is a home ec style room on that pathway. There's, bathrooms scattered through several different halls. There is a math classroom in the secondary hallway there. Actually, that one is right next to a bathroom. and then it's sort of down the way from the art room there.
Point is at whatever point we're like closest, not closest, whatever point is like almost at the art room, sorry, not art room, almost at the yearbook room, but not quite there, and will allow me to kind of like that there are multiple ways of leaving that spot. Because I'm walking behind Nia, I'm gonna say I want to, because one shot, why not use magic?
Yeah.
I am going to sneak a thing from my, like a, it's kind of like a hair serum thing to put at the end of your hair care routine. People with curly hair will know. But yeah, so just like a thing that's with it's essentially like a 100-200 ml of oil, like lightweight oil, and I'm gonna like take that from my backpack or my messenger bag thing, and just surreptitiously like click the top open, and then cast spit to move it in like an arc, like just kind of like not above Nia's head, but like from me just to in front of her feet, just as she is passing us things. So she's gonna be like, the hell is this mess? Oil spill? What is this? The ocean? You know, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I think this is going to be a contested focus check for her. Or she's going to contest this with focus, I think. But yeah, absolutely. Give it
Before
a roll. I think.
Before taking such a bold stance, I should have asked, what do I roll?
Yes. So your spit spell is based off focus. So you'll roll your focus impulse die here. And we're looking for 4s and better. How many of those are you rolling?
So I have a 2 in focus, so 2d6, right?
Checking up to see what I'm rolling against here.
No, and I am checking to see whether I understood the assignment. I rolled a 2 and a 5.
So here's what I'm gonna need from you. This is because I don't so I am unsure of what happens in a tie, just because I'm not used to the system yet. There's probably rules for it, but I am going to ignore those for the moment because I have rolled 1 dice and gotten a 5, so we both got 1 success, and they're equal successes. So I'm going to need 1 additional sort of thing from you on why your success beats their success in this. So what extra are you doing to distract them or to pull this off?
I think I'm just part of my whole, like, one of the ways in which Amna gets good pictures is also to like keep people talking. So like she's also used to the idea of just random babbling, small talk without even like necessarily needing to engage. It's just like commenting on the school year. I don't know, school year, like state of the world, whatever, something. And so that's what she's doing. And also generally is like that because the spell, so because the spell is aimed at, say, her left, just the area in front of her left foot, and I'm now speaking from the right, like sort of, so just out of instinct, like Nia's head will kind of, I think, be turned slightly so that like she can hear, but not yeah, I think.
Absolutely. So yeah, you see Nia just lose balance and go sort of sliding across the floor.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
And this is a very unschool maintenance like string of curses that or we'll say oaths that get there's lots of words in here that happen as a response to that.
Oh, how very Nick at night. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that in order to do what she was planning, Anna's gonna be like, "Are you? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm in a time crunch for the stupid layout. I hope you're okay, Nia." And like sort of rushes ahead to the yearbook room, and basically yearbook room's gonna be like you would have to take a turn so that you're out. The entrance to the yearbook room is out of sight would be out of sight for Nia where she has knelt. So Anna's essentially gonna throw her bag into the yearbook room and close the door. So like Nia hears the right door closing, and then run into like one of the stairwells to wait until the coast is clear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can hear. I think Nia is going to be absolutely. You can hear her being like, "Where that? Amna, where did you go? You need to get back." And you can hear the voice sort of fading as they go looking for you in other places.
So I think there's like a I think I don't know if it's okay, like retroactively I think Anna will like flick a charm that's hanging from her bag that plays like a dumb piece of music. Basically it's to deflect attention, and she uses this a lot, so it just plays kind of radio stuff, or I don't know, it's like a tiny radio, and so there's basically sound now coming from the yearbook room with the door shut.
What I might push you to instead, if you'd like to do that. I would encourage you to use a spell for that. Like a made up on the spot spell. So I don't know exactly how, what sort of impulse you might have to use that with.
Okay, so just because this is like teenagers, I'm gonna say the spell is called
and I'm actually talking about roll.
Hear you.
I'm actually talking about roll in impulse and do the tiles to create a spell.
Oh crap!
That's
yes.
I'm before you name it, because that's part of the the thing.
Okay. That's probably.
And that might take you a minute. So what we can do is while you roll that and figure that out, if you can do that, we might go to the garden and do that portion and come back to you if that's okay.
I just have a question before you go to the garden. Is what is What do we roll if we have 0?
So if you use 0 in an impulse, you can't use it for this.
Oh.
You can only
Fair.
use impulses that you have something in. So you've got to be very creative with it, which I have no doubt you can be. But yes, you've got to pick one that you've got something in. Okay, cool. All right. So that brings us to Connie. Connie, you are in the school gardens, working with the Science Bowl Club. They're doing some different studies of, they're learning more about horticulture as well as like soil filtration, I think. And so they're doing sort of a hands-on study with you all for a little while. What is the goal for? And I forget which club you said you were here with.
Environmental club.
Okay. What is the goal for the environmental club here in the garden today?
So the environmental club, so I think at one time this school, maybe I'm imagining the 80s, was trying to be like Seattle's version of like the high school from like 90210, and they had like this like pool, like an in-ground pool set up, and they were trying to be like tennis courts, and it was just like not the Seattle vibe. This is Pacific Northwest after all. So I think that the environmental club has like repurposed this as like an entirely self-sustainable hydroponic organic garden. So I think the Science Bowl Club and the environmental club is actually like they grow food. So, and they have it sort of like organized. They collect rainwater, and like they have some chickens, and they collect like the poo for fertilizer. Could not think of the waste for fertilizer. Like they're like all
Manure.
It's like all like a closed loop system, and they're like, so the environmental club comes every morning and they make sure that the animals are well cared for. And I think from the like the science club also has some students who are maybe doing like a career technical animal science program who come and like do checkups, and so like they have like a very extensive morning routine. And I think their goal is to first of all show that like it's possible to do this, and also I think they host dinners with the food that they've grown, and they like give it to they like, you know, there's a way to like give it to underserved populations and unhoused persons and whatnot.
Yeah. So I think this morning, as we talk about winter vegetables, I think you are sort of working with them around a bunch of leafy greens. So you've got some kale growing, some red cabbage. There's also like carrots, rutabagas, beets, those types of things as well. So and more, of course. You try to be, you know, have a very large variety of the veggies that you grow. But yeah, so as you're digging in, you some of the science kids come up to you and they go, so have you heard?
No. What? Heard about what?
Word is that parts of the school have completely been shut down.
And I think at that moment, like, she kind of looks up and realizes that the group is getting more, like, there's more people sort of gawking at them than normal.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of the kids, like, they come around and they, like, watch the the hippie nerds do their hippie nerd stuff in the morning because it's funny. But there are like more people just like around, and so she sort of looks around and is like, "Shut down! What do you mean shut down?"
Real quick, as a pause here, we did have a hydration and a stretch redeemed here, which I forgot about forever ago, to the point that Chant reminded me twice or whatever, but it's fine. Thank you, Emerald. So, what do you, I mean, like, it sounds like there was like some critters let loose in the school, or like vandals, or some sort of, I don't know, like maybe somebody did that classic prank of like letting things loose in the school and labeling them 1, 2, 4, because like they're not letting kids in school yet, and I think it's because they're searching for something.
Huh. So I think that there is, and please tell me if this is like metagaming too much. I feel like there is like a bulkhead that the environmental club is allowed to use to like store some of their stuff. Like it goes to like a little like basement area. Like it was for like the pool stuff to be like stored in, because like those chemicals you don't just like want around and whatever, but like it's been sort of gifted to the environmental club. And I think she kind of like looks over to see if that is locked or not.
I think it is.
Yeah, and I think
Actually,
that would be unusual. I think that would be absolutely unusual for them. And so, because there is like a way, I think, into the like boiler room part of the school through there. Let's see, let's do magic about it.
Absolutely, let's go.
So I don't know if, okay. I have hope. I have 3 in hope. And this again might be ridiculous, and please feel free to tell me if it is. But I want to frame this as like Connie is hoping that the ingenuity of the proletariat will have been not accounted for, and that this lock is actually not really all that effective. It's just there as a symbol of a power and authority to get like to sort of draw students away, and she's hoping that she will be able to I don't know, like jimmy the lock somehow, or like if she pulls on it hard enough in the right way, like maybe it's like not that great of a lock, like it's put there like with like the hubris of the elites, not necessarily because it's actually that great of a lock.
So help me to put this into, what is that as a spell that is like, I guess because that's the intention, is to somehow make that. Let's roll and see what we get for a spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I get for letters, right? That's what I would do. Okay.
Yep. So I know you're looking at letters.
Okay.
We have Amna, who is looking at letters. Are you going to need a few more minutes?
No, I have a clarifying question. Do I have to use all of the letters that I get?
No.
Okay, so I got crack. C-R-A-C-K in my letter set. And so I think that what happened was they were told to like make sure that no kids could get in, and I think like so often happens, right? They're relying on like the symbol the symbols of like the students being socialized to like do what they're told and whatever. And so it's actually like a really rusty master lock. And I think what happens is you're like, they're used to like this bulkhead being kind of heavy, so you have to like really pull to like open it. And I think that after a couple of tries, she sees in the lock, and this is where she sort of uses her sign to kind of communicate that there is a little part of rust on the lock. And I think that's where she uses her magic, like, oh, I hope really hard that this rust is actually a point of weakness in this lock and I can open it. Is that ridiculous?
No,
Okay.
and I would even I can hit it from a different direction if it makes a little bit better for
we
you.
love collaborative storytelling here in this world. I'm here for the Wonderarium. I'm on the train, my friend.
So as there is this hope is sort of interesting thing because it worms its way into places through the smallest of openings, much like how water worms its way into tiny bits of this lock, eroding and eating and thriving into its own thing, becoming this rusty, brittle bit that would be easily breakable.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I think that as she sort of like works this, she kind of makes a sign. And I think that there might be like a couple other magic kids, other kitchen witches around, and they see like her sort of like sign, and eventually it comes open, giving access to this part of the school. Well, I have to roll, don't I? I have to roll. I don't just get to say it happens.
So with the spell, as long as you are able to spell it, you can. The spell happens. So the crack is there.
Oh, good.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
So
want to
success in spells is being able to actually spell something.
Okay. All right.
And then also make a convincing argument for how it works, which we've done. Right?
Oh, I love this. Okay.
So, that's 100%. So yeah. So yeah, this lock is cracked and rusty, and it also is suffering from disuse as well, because if it's not really been locked a lot, it you don't really like it starts to age and decay more.
Yeah.
So with a little bit of some maybe tools, you could easily break this lock and get in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She 100% does that, because the idea that children are being denied an education for institutional failings, or that other students have made the choice to deny their fellow students an education is not okay. So we're going in.
As you are doing that, one of the things that makes that better, makes that easier, is that several people are chasing raccoons out of the patch, by the way. Because despite that they're ecologically like filling a necessary niche and things like that, if you're trying to get this to other folks and you're trying to harvest crops, raccoons eating your crops before you harvest them is problematic.
Yep. Yeah.
So I will tell you what is behind that door, but first we're gonna bump over, because I promised that we would touch base, I think, for the second half of Mackie. I almost said McKay. I'm starting to mix you up with your siblings. Mackie.
You mean Mackie?
Yep.
You mean Mackie with a Y?
Yeah, Mackie. Yeah,
And
you're
there's
right.
me, Mackie with an I, and then there's Mackie with an IE, and there's also from the 1993 incident, but we don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And your mom is
I was-
McKay with MAKEIGH. Yep.
I love this. I would love to have Mackie be like strutting off down. Today she's wearing a Stanley Cup sweatshirt, Stanley mug sweatshirt, white with like a ombre, shiny front, and a little skirt and some heels. And she's clomping off very pissed offedly after this non-conversation with Juno. And I would love for her to be that just in time to like see the cleaning person fall down, like come around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yet fall down and sort of clock what's happening as like a good middle child, sort of clock what's happening here, and maybe use some flattery to maybe see if she can connect up to the yearbook room and find out what's happening. Because somebody is gonna know if she does not.
Okay.
Maybe she can. We're trying to connect her with Amna.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think because Amna's trying basically like thrown her bag into the yearbook room and gone into the stairwell closest to the thing. I think if you might see her. You might have seen her from where you were coming from, dip into the stairwell, and you might just meet her there.
If we're at that point, real quick, sorry, hate to cut you off, but I do have a spell from Amna that would affect this exact situation that would be going off right now. So before I let you do that, I gotta know what happened over there. I didn't realize we'd be here so quickly.
So here's the thing. I tried to roll with grit because it seemed to make sense at the time, and I got 3 letters, REL, and so if you are open to it, either that can be an abbreviation for leave really early. And the idea is to create sound, like some kind of noise, some kind of sound that's going to make like it basically hones in on something that the target of the spell finds really dull or really annoying, and so they would want to leave that space. So basically, if the spell is targeted at Nia, then say for example, like she absolutely hates like reality TV, and so she might hear like if I cast it, so she might hear from the yearbook room the sounds of, I don't know, Love Island, or something, or insert reality TV we don't have to bleep out here. And so she's just like, ugh. And then so she clears the space or whatever and kind of moves away from there, not necessarily on purpose, but kind of just internally being like, I'm gonna delay my coming back to this area, just subconsciously. And that's my justification for why 3 letters should be an abbreviation.
So, that's very, very interesting. So if we weren't doing a one-shot, I would probably shoot you down. But because we're doing a one-shot, I'm being very generous with the rules here, because it's more fun that way. So yes, I'm going to let you do that. If we were doing a longer campaign, that would set an awful, terrible precedent.
It's true, and we would not want that.
But I love this. I love the argument. Let's go for it.
Okay, so she hears reality TV start blaring from the yearbook room. She is honestly probably thinks a little less of Amna, but it's okay, you know. Ends justify the means, and Amna's gonna duck into the stairwell and like kind of see like just have like our eyes probably meet, mine and Mackie's, and I'm like. My eyes just widen, and I feel like Mackie's like, and we just meet in the stairwell.
Like, oh my god, what is going on here?
We gotta wait. This is the coast clear.
Listen, you can hear her talking to Juno. That's gonna take forever.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
okay.
I will explain on the way. We need to head towards the art room. Apparently some shit went down there, or it's possible that I was lied to. Either way.
Okay, no, this is good. And we'll get it for the yearbook, and if we see anything that's going to help with the theme for the chili charm, we can grab that on the way without having to ask, and then we can blame him on whoever did the stuff. Right? We can be like,
don't know how we're going to do that, but I'm sure we can.
Oh, girl, don't you have sisters? This is how you do it.
I have brothers. Okay. It's very annoying.
Well, let's go. And I'm going to take off. Here's what I'm going to do to show you that I'm really, really into it. I'm going to take off my shoes so they don't make noise. Because I have very clumpy heels on today.
I mean, they can only, other soldiers can only dream of your valor. Let's go.
And so we're going to sneak down. And I really like the idea that, like, it's like, bloop, bloop, you know, like the little heads coming out of the thing. Like when you have the two heads in the doorway.
Breakfast Club, like.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I love it too. Yeah. You can look, you see someone pushing a maintenance cart at the end of the hall, but not immediately between you and the room that you would like to be in. Which room again?
We've been told the art room.
The art room. Yeah. Okay. I lost track of which room that you'd said in the intervening moments. So, yes. Okay, that was what I figured. But anyway.
I feel like as we're walking down there, I'm like hearing these noises coming through the like heating system. I'm like, that sounds like my sister's fighting. Or maybe it's raccoons. Are Mackie and Mackie here?
So I feel like Amna, forgot my own name for a second. Amna is going to just like half be listening and just half be like, what do we say if we are caught on the way to the art room? Like,
don't even worry about it. I've got that covered.
That is not as comforting as you think it is. Let's go.
Watch and learn. If there's anything she's good at, it's sucking up at the right moment.
So yeah, I think you are able to make it to the art room just fine. So the art room, by the way, is a mess. Let me pull this up real quick.
This is like a major L.
Yeah, well,
we have to start taking pictures immediately because I don't know how much time we have before someone catches us in here. Probably not that much. Chances are they're gonna change stuff.
Okay.
Although
you take pictures and I'll look for crepe paper.
You look for what? Sorry.
Crepe paper, like the stuff that you like use to
Paper,
hang
yeah.
up for the chili charm thing in 2 days. Like, come on.
Yep.
Priority.
I totally did not forget in the thing of this morning that we have that.
Okay, girl, you can think about 2 things at once.
Yes, I am. I'm thinking about. So, and then like I'm not. It's like I'm thinking about 5 things actually, just not the stupid dance. I'm just like. Anyway, okay, cool. So I'm just gonna be like taking photos of all the walls, and so is it very obvious? Like aside from the fact that it's a mess, what remains of the graffiti?
Yeah. So the
Or was that a lot?
it's a big scene of I was finding the description to get to you guys with.
Sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
coming at this with big like eat the Reich energy. This is not that game. I gotta remember.
You're good. I don't mind that at all. So the art room has been very convincingly vandalized. It's interesting. You would think that someone vandalizing would be like writing big words or doing things like that. No, they have like gotten splatters a bunch of places. They actually have there are like big, like it's not like a raccoon got into the paint, right? But there are big paw prints that have been painted on the floor. Let's see. Yeah. There's the paint bottles have been broken, and in fact there is so they were the plastic bottles, luckily for our barefoot friend. But they have been like completely slashed and destroyed. So
It's not what I thought Mia meant when she said graffiti. Like, does this look like? What do you make of this?
Can I try to use? All right, so I'd like to try a spell, and
Okay.
I would like to try. I have 3 in renown, and I would
Okay.
like to say that this is a spell that renown can either be like about my own popularity or like what I know about other things and other people. Does that make sense?
I would go along with that. Yeah.
Right. So okay. All right. Because I just want to. I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to roll like investigate, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I want to know what the animal is. My spell is beast. I want to know what animals.
Bell is beast.
Because like what I'm wondering
Okay.
is this like another school's mascot? Right? Like or is this like a wild beast? Is this the raccoons that might have been or my sisters? So what do I know from the paw prints? What can I determine with the spell beast? And
Absolutely.
to do that, I'm gonna go like this. And that's my beast.
Grr. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so what you can learn from the paw prints is that you start to look at the trail of paw prints, because one paw print doesn't tell you that much, and in fact they start to light up on the floor as you go, you are able to light up each of these paw prints, but the paw prints start to morph a bit, and they like at one point there are different number of toes, and there are like there's what seems to be the slide from like a tail, and then at one point the paw prints jump an astronomical amount, and you're starting to pick up that this may not be a normal creature. This is a kind of creature that is a byproduct of magic, a byproduct of creation.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Okay. And despite, like, she's a pretty good student. She's like a solid B plus A minus student, right? And so
Yeah.
I think she would know. She does pay attention in magic class.
Yeah.
And she's
And
like,
this is the type of thing that you would be warned about. Like, hey, don't attempt higher level magics because you might create an unspeakable.
this is like one of those. Look, it's like a creature. Like a bad creature. This is like the time that my sister tried to whip Nene at the same time, and it was unspeakably horrible. It's like that, but in creature.
This definitely seems like the same category of catastrophe. Okay, before they.
It's like my oldest sister that we don't talk about. It's like unspeakable.
Oh.
It's like a word with no vowels.
That is, in fact, unspeakable.
Well, that's why we don't do spells like that. Don't you pay attention? But look, it has like a tail, and here it has like tentacles, and here it has like, I don't know, like an ovipositor. It's like there's a lot going on with this animal. We should follow it. It's gonna ruin the chili charm festival, and I'll never beat this chili charm if we can't get this under control. And I found purple crepe paper, so that's gonna have to be the color.
Look, I still have the broadcast channel for everyone's email and everyone's text from school. I will absolutely make sure that your Miss Chili Charm campaign is running nonstop for the next 2 days. Okay?
Don't tell them about the beast. Tell them everything's fine and the color is purple. That is the color. We don't want mass panic.
Okay. You want me to text the color is purple, everything is fine on this very rarefied thing that I have?
No, I want you to.
This is why you don't have this thing.
I want that. Yeah, well, this is why you don't have any friends.
Whatever. I have friends.
I want you to be
not in this room right now.
I want you to be. Yeah, they're like on the internet, like you're a boyfriend in Canada. Yeah. So some of us want to go to the chili. So you're losing focus. The focus needs to be 1, save Chili Charm Festival. 2, me as Miss Chili Charm. 3, whatever with this animal so that we can get it done because we don't want to ruin the thing. So here's what I need from you. You're gonna say, "Hey everybody, it's the Chili Charm Planning Committee, and we're so excited to have you this weekend. And I know it's a weird start today, but that's just so we can do extra planning for you for the Chili Charm, and the color's purple. So get shopping like that, so nobody's worried about the end."
Yeah, I'm gonna call that priority 3, and I will send that message super soon. Just want to figure out, for example, why all the adults in this building were so freaked out by this. So, what do they know about who must have cast this magic? Okay.
We need to find Tom. She knows about animals.
She's into sustainability. All right. She's not a zoologist. Okay. You know what? Above the table. This is great. I'm so sorry. I have to be so dismissive of you in character. I wanted to ask if the side effect that creates the consequence that creates such a creature, would we know like whether it is inexpertly cast magic or it's just trying to go too big?
So unspeakables, at least in this version that we are playing currently, unspeakables are oftentimes created by spells that go wrong. As so, like some spells are like many of the ones that you cast are subjected on objects, but some are on people. Things like the growth spell that would make you grow much bigger or broader or whatever, depending on the intent, or things like that. So oftentimes unspeakables happen when there is a very problematic permanent spell cast on someone or something that is alive.
Okay, we need to... Do you think... Mackie, do you think that was a student?
I mean, maybe? I hope not. I mean, we have had some people, like, move away.
Could
Do you
you,
think they
like...
really didn't move away?
Could you do your social media thing and see if you notice anyone who's, like, not here today?
I mean, yeah, but you need to do your social media thing so people don't freak out about the chili shot.
I will do my social media thing. You do your social media thing. Let's see what works best.
And I'm like, my phone's already out. I'm like,
you as the phones come out, you will hear a voice from the doorway. Absolutely not. Put those away. There is a bald, broad-shouldered man in a white and black suit with shades on inside. Some sort of badge that has been flipped so that you can't see what the badge is. You need to get out of here right now.
This is what Mackie was made for. She stands up super tall and her eyes seem to get like this much bigger. All of a sudden she's like an anime creature. And she's like, wow, you seem really important.
You could say that, and you need to get out of here.
Well, we're kind of scared and not really sure what to do. Could you help us understand what's happening? And I want to cast Flatter.
All right. Go ahead.
I rolled 3 6s and a 1.
Okay. All right.
We don't usually get important people here at our school, and we just really want to learn, right? And I turned.
You can see sort of a hand comes up to the face, and the sunglasses come down, and you see some tired eyes.
Oh my goodness, did you see him?
By the way, this guy's like 30, for the record.
Oh yeah, and she's not.
I would like that to be known to everybody here. All right.
Yeah, she's not coming on to him. She's trying to do that hero worship thing. Yeah, no,
Just
she's
making sure. Just
absolutely not. That's a intern.
That's-
For me. So, but no, she's doing the like, wow, he's so like a movie star. She's trying to give the movie star vibe. He's so handsome and smart.
perfect. Okay, cool. So it's part of the flatter. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. Cool.
For sure. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes, I teach middle school. That's very important to me. If your grades don't touch, neither should you, baby.
So as you turn to Amna and you're like, so handsome, right? We want to learn, right? And I'm just like, Amna is like, like you can see, if you look at her, you can see the cogs like turned in her head almost. And I too would like to cast a spell, if I may.
Okay.
I would like to cast using Scheme. And the word that came out of the tiles, because I prepared for this, is owl. So I'm gonna use that to I'm gonna interpret that by that it is literally like like wrapping a towel around stuff that you don't want people to see. So I'm gonna say we should we're both texting, like we're doing the teenage thing of like looking at you but still actually concentrating on the texting, and he can no longer see our phones, so he thinks they're in our pockets or whatever, but yeah. So we are continuing to inform whoever, and I am texting Connie to be like, hey, emergency Chili Charm society, the committee meeting in the art room, like now. Also, if you see an adult, say, come up with an excuse as to why you need us.
So, you
Hashtag anti-establishment. Just to get that point across.
And during this time, Mackie appears to be getting tinier and tinier, and her eyes are getting bigger and bigger, and she looks more and more like Puss in Boots from the, with the she looks so adorable, and she's just like, please tell us. We're all so afraid. But now we're not, because you're here. Because she's buying time.
Yeah, so the man is going to reach into his jacket, pull out a business card, and write a number on the back. My name is Agent, which I didn't actually create a name for this guy for some reason. Agent Martin.
So mysterious.
I'm Agent
So
Mackie.
mysterious.
Yeah,
Agent Mackie.
Yeah, can his name be Mac?
Yes. My name is Agent Mac. I love that so much. My name is Agent Mac.
Can I do the thing? I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but this is basically what I want to do with the agent as well, where I interrupt him and I'm like, oh my god, do you work for the federal government? Can I please? Oh my god. And then so Amna will start talking about her CV and what she can do to get just how did you do it? How did you get in?
And Mackie?
I do not.
Mackie's gonna take her Stanley mug and turn it and stab you with the straw a lot of times. And be like, shut up. Nope. Oh, no, please tell us. How many K's do you have in your name, Mac? Is
I
it
have
a CK?
3. 4. I have 4.
I only have 3. Alright, us everything about you. Starting with what's happening here at the school.
There's been a security outbreak. There's on that card here, and he'll hand it out to you. There's a number to call. That number has a recording on it of a bit of information that we've received that let us know about a threat to the Chili Charm dance, and we were in possessive control of said threat to Chili Charm dance. However, we've had an event that caused a containment breach, and we're now fixing said containment breach.
Mackie to Mackie, right now. 4Ks, 3Ks. It's the animal, right? It's the animal. I am not going to let anything happen to this dance. I am going to be Miss Chili Charm.
She's not kidding. She's not going to let anything happen to
You.
the dance.
Step aside, Mackie 4. Mackie 3 is on.
Glad I can count on it.
We are the Chili Charm Committee, and nothing is happening. Even the colors purple, which I will not match when you try to go undercover. You are also 30 and balding. Maybe we should change the maybe we should change the thing on masquerade if it's gonna be there. We don't want to freak people. Like he could cover his.
Yes, sure.
For
Yeah.
example,
Mhm.
old. It is old because look, he's wearing skinny jeans. They're gonna clock it.
Very
Right away.
embarrassing.
I know it's really bad.
Mm.
Mackie 4. How can we help you?
Amna starts to say, sorry, you get an alert when something, and because Amna's trying to understand the logistics of, you get an alert when a school dance is under threat, and then Amna's just thinking aloud, sort of saying this, and then I feel like Mackie would just still continue to stab you.
It's the Chili Charm dance. It's the Chili Charm event. It's not just a dance. It's the event of the season. It's historical. The Chili Charm dance is the invention of chilies and charms and dances.
Where are you getting your information? What?
Well, I didn't get it from your boyfriend in Canada.
Girlfriend in Canada, I think you'll find.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah.
And I think Agent Mac, I do still need both of you out ASAP.
Okay, I'm just gonna put on my shoes. And I'm gonna slowly start to put on my shoes, so slow, to try to buy time to get Connie here.
Yeah, and I think instead of just sitting down to put on your shoes like a regular person, you're gonna hold on to Amna and be like, and Amna's just kind of trying to swat you away, and that takes longer to put on your shoes.
And I'm hopping around with one shoe on, trying not to hit any of the footprints because I don't want to get them dirty because they're white.
And while the towel spell is still under effect, I'm gonna take a photo of Agent Matt, who has apparently showed up when a school dance is under threat. It's all sounds very sus.
All right.
If you try to take a photo of Agent Mac, he is going to hand to the face, right? There's shades on.
Oh, he can't see. He can't see the camera.
Oh, you're right.
The phone.
What? Can't see the phones at all, or couldn't see? I believe the wording was he couldn't see what was on your phones.
No, he couldn't
He
see that we
couldn't
were
see that we
texting.
were still
He
Is
couldn't-
it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
You got me.
Okay, I got an idea. I'm gonna text Just Go with it, and I'm going to try to like kick the towel over you, so that you have completely disappeared, or like are hidden. Like I'm gonna try to get the towel spell. Like, is there an actual towel? Like over you?
No.
I'm
There
like,
is not an actual towel.
Oh damn! Because that was like, if there was an actual towel, maybe we could hide you,
This
and
is
then
why
I could take
collaborative
it magic
needs
with
work.
me.
This
This
is.
is why collaborative magic needs work.
I do believe Connie was about to enter the scene.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
You're
Yeah.
good.
I think Connie absolutely comes in, and having received the text on her multiple times refurbished Gen 1, not Apple smartphone, whatever. She comes in and she's got a clipboard, and she comes in and she sort of is like, "Oh my word, I'm so sorry that I'm late. I had a hard time getting into the school. We have to have this dance committee meeting." And then she kind of stops and like tilts her head at the agent and is kind of like, "Oh, hello. Can we help you?"
As I was telling them, I need you all to leave this area. By order of the school board, it is being locked down.
The school board meets on Mondays, and it's Thursday. Do you happen to have any supporting paperwork or documentation that demonstrates why the children
pull-
of the school should lose their legal right to a free and appropriate education? As to what is justifying that, just sort of for my understanding.
Pursuant to emergency documentation declaration 3-7-4 SS12, put in last night through emergency proceedings. Yes, I have full authority to shut down any and all parts of the school that need shut down for student safety. Would you like to read the documents?
Oh, she's 100% gonna take those documents and look at them in case that it's bullshit.
It is absolutely not bullshit.
Okay, yeah, she has seen, this girl has absolutely, been well versed in, fraudulent court orders,
It is fully embossed school board letterhead with, all the exact signs. There's even you have learned that there is a watermark on school board stationery, and it's there.
Okay. I would like to do magic about this. Is there a possible way? So I had as my initial spell, it was a feeling spell, and it was take account. And again, feel free to tell me if this is not really appropriate. I'm rolling it sort of to take her to take a moment and really focus and see what she can learn from this paperwork about what is actually happening. So trying to see the emotion, feeling. I know. I feel like we're getting a little far away.
Yeah, we are. You were trying to learn from this very factual document what your own emotions are.
Yeah, that's
which I feel
not working at all. No, that's entirely ridiculous.
But you could cast a spell about it. I'm down for a spell, just not that spell. I don't think that applies here.
I would like to cast a spell about it, and I'm thinking about I have 1 in reason.
Are you sure that is that what you would like to cast? Is that how you want to approach this?
No,
Because
so I mean I do have Justice Arc, but I kind of feel like I already named what that does.
so
What about focus? Do you have anything in focus?
I have 1 in focus.
What do you have a lot?
I have 3 calm, 4 feeling, and 3 hope.
okay.
Could help.
Yeah, should we try to figure out how to get him to trust us?
Keep calm and let the committee carry on.
So yeah. Could I do like a calm situation and kind of calm his feelings toward us so that he's like either sees us as less of a threat or like sees us as like kind of lets they're just dumb,
Right.
like
Feels very in the realm of calm. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's generate some tiles.
I'm also wondering, is there a mechanic in this game for us to aid her? Because I feel like my spell Brick, which is about being a brick house and just being like the most impressive person in the room, if I could cast that on her to like aid in her ability to be charming, I would love to do that. And
There is. So here's what I will. There is. I'm unsure of that thing. You seem very excited. I don't know if that's
maybe
by
she
the roll.
doesn't need me.
I don't know if I'm gonna need it, but I want to make sure that I'm not. I don't want to be taking over this game.
No.
Yeah, you did just sit quiet for like 20 minutes while we had a scene without you. So taking over this game, you are for sure not.
Okay, good, because I have a tendency to be the icy historian locomotive only goes at full speed ahead.
Go for it.
So I got shame.
You got shame?
Yeah, SHAME in my tiles. And I think what I'm going to do is look and I'm going to put on a face of like being very impressed. And I'm so sorry. This seems to be really important, and you clearly are a very important individual who I'm sure earned your position, not at all through nepotism or unearned mediocre white male privilege. Is this person a white man?
Oh yeah.
4K.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I didn't want to go a bridge too far.
No, you're 100% spot on. Keep going.
But I feel like what you're doing here. I mean, there's no possible way that like 3 high school girls are gonna be enough to like threaten what you're doing. And so I think what she's trying to do through her hand signs is make a ding to his sort of institutional authoritative ego of like shame almost, that like, oh, like I am even having a conversation with these women is already suggesting that they actually might be able to have some power to like disrupt this investigation. Oh God, no, there's no way. Like it's this idea that like him even engaging with us is acknowledging that we have some power, and to get him to leave us alone and sort of almost like playing toxic masculinity and toxic power structures, like again, like that thing that she does when she turns them on their head. And like, we're just like, we're here for like a dance. Surely an investigation by people of your quality and stature wouldn't be threatened by us. And I think she looks at like the anime eyes, and she like also does the like big eyes Puss in Boots thing, and like is trying a little bit, be like, yeah, like we're just
come on, girls. Let's not bother this big man anymore. Let's go hang up some crepe paper in the library.
Yeah, we're gonna go do some crafts and you know, do all of the emotional labor of organizing larger events for which we receive no credit.
I hope the
That
men are happy.
sounds like a great day. Let's go do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. I hope someday I have 4Ks in my name.
You absolutely have shown us the right way, as is your want.
I can't wait to get married to a husband who can show me what to do.
I think that one is like almost a bridge too far, and you see Connie crack for a second, and then she goes, "Yup." it's like just too much. Too much. I can't do the
You see
recording
both.
well.
You see both Connie and Amna's eyes go a little too wide, like
Yeah.
making it weird.
And somewhere at the spa, getting her nails done, Mackie's mom, Mackie, has like a delighted shiver down her spine. She doesn't know why. Her wayward third child. That's just the thing that would make her the happiest.
I think honestly, what would really seal this is if we all linked arms and like chorus girled out of here.
Yeah, like we're absolutely like, but so the whole thing is he wants us to leave the art room or he wants us to leave the school.
The art room.
Okay, so we're not gonna leave. We're gonna sit down at a table and start like making paper stars and talking about domestic chores.
I hope that I find my one true love at the prom. But if not, we could start at the Chili Charm dance. Mason is so dreamy.
That is
Yep.
See
that
him
is
just
definitely what
shrink.
happens. That's what all our mothers have told us about romance and the
Connie
fact
looks a little
you
bit.
find.
You might want to leave. I wouldn't want to embarrass you, but we have to have women talk about that time of the month.
Oh,
And I think
have so much to tell you too about this, but I just, you won't believe what's happening to me this month.
Here,
You could-
I have a place where you can hide your pads so no man ever has to see them.
Don't say pads in front of the man.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Comfortable about our basic bodily function.
We're
Oh,
only 16.
And this thing that we bought, despite the pink tax.
We're only 15 and 16 years old. It's not weird that you're in a room with us for an extended period of time alone.
That totally makes sense and is not wrong in any way.
I think I'm developing Stockholm syndrome. Love you, Mackie.
It's like slowly breaking Tony.
We can just do this for another
Stop
3.5
shooting him.
hours.
He's dead. Okay. No.
Oh my God, Gabe.
Yeah, he. By the way, over the last 10 minutes of this, he has gone from like slightly pink to like a beet red, and he will find his way up.
Please.
On.
Please, can he have turned purple? Because that's the name of the dance.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. We can't
Yes.
let him leave until he's the color of the dance.
Yes, he's turned purple. He went all the way to an eggplant, in fact. So.
I don't think he really had 4Ks in his name. I don't think so. I think it was just 2.
That's a thing you can tell with behavior.
Scientifically proven.
So we're
It
here.
takes one to know one, you know.
So we're here in this room that has like all the evidence in it, and the guy looking for the evidence just left because he.
And there's like one,
We're in the
and there's
room with all
one
of the
tiny
evidence.
tampon. And there's one tiny tampon in the doorway, like warding him off.
Like a Blair Witch symbol.
Yeah, right. It's in like plastic and it's all pink and like hearts and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's subtle, so no one will know.
Yeah, because heaven forbid.
There's like a pentagram of tampons. Okay, girls. What are we gonna? Connie, there's some kind of animal here. You know about science. You were in the ocean bowl. This
Okay,
thing has tentacles.
so do the prints, are the prints themselves moving, or is as we trace the path, it looks like the animal itself had different body parts for each print?
As you trace the path, the animal
Okay.
had different body parts.
Okay, so this might be another, like, I'm maybe pushing boundaries. Well, obviously, if there's like an animal in here and has been sort of improperly magicked, that's cruelty to animal. That's incredibly unethical and unjust. Can I use Justice Arc to see if I can, I don't know, like, how big does this creature look based on the prints? Like, does the size seem to stay consistent?
The size does not stay consistent, but the prints can be pretty big.
No.
Bigger than a human foot for a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where does it seem to go after being here in the art room? Or does it seem like it has not left?
Yeah. It does not have. There's not a path
Okay.
that it was headed. Like I said, this is chaos in this room.
Okay.
And I would like to remind you all of the card and the line that was given to you by Mac.
Oh, he gave us his number. Creep.
No.
Yes,
wasn't
he
his
did.
number, but yeah.
He was all like, "Oh, call this number. It's not my number." Creeper. Dead to us.
Oh,
You
can we
call
look at
them.
that? Can we look at the
No,
card? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Marianne Calliope knows for a fact. And really, I think Matthew knows for a fact that that's not true. But remember, we hate him now.
Okay. So we're gonna absolutely investigate that card.
It is a fully embossed school board business card with Mac McKay, Agent Mac McKay, school board security officer, executive security officer, I think.
He's probably on the zoning board of adjustments too. That's a very mysterious committee in small towns.
Yep.
I think Connie pulls out her cell phone and dials the number.
Yeah.
Does that even have a speakerphone on it?
Yeah, I think that's like its most. Connie's really concerned about e-waste,
Oh
so
my
she
god!
has her phone over and
Is
over
that
again.
a Nokia? Is that a Nokia?
Yeah.
I think my grandma has one of those. Like, in. That's amazing. That's very retro.
You could
Yeah.
use it with your brick spell, to be honest.
Oh my god, right? It is like a brick.
Mm.
Are you still mad about the thing about Canada? It's okay. It's okay. But they don't really exist. It's fine.
So, the voice on because I know we're very close to. We have somebody who's here at like 3 a.m. their time, so I'm
I
trying
know,
to get us
it's
to an
so
ending. I'm
amazing.
sorry, y'all.
This story has to go on, Tony. If not today, then another day.
So there is a recording of a voice saying prophecy recorded on And I'm going to use today's date because, I don't, I'm making up one. December 14th, 2024, at 2 a.m. And the prophecy is speckled and starry, sleek and celeritis, in stride, sunshine in sinews, shielded by skin of somber skies. So shine, so sing a song of stars, silence those sighs, solemnize the slide, the sorcerer's side. And I'm going to send that in our chat because that was a lot.
Girls, we have got to change the theme of the Chili Charm dance to Masquerade. That was too much. This is about the Chili Charm dance. I can tell.
Your ability to focus is really admirable.
Yeah, I do have a 3 in focus. I was Little Miss Focus, 2023.
How many pageants are you a part of?
You were there. You just didn't play.
So yeah, that's your prophecy.
Okay. So it's speckled and starry. It's sleek and it's fast. Okay. What are we supposed to do with this? This is a prophecy. It's telling us that something that moves fast and is speckled is going to show up at night.
I mean, how could this not be about the Chili Charm dance? It's magic under the moonlight, or whatever we said the theme was. Mary Ann does not remember, but Mackie does.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but like, the prophecy is that something bad is going to happen at the dance.
Oh my God, Connie! It's about using skins. Just like maybe we should change it to dead mink. Just like you said before, shielded by skins of somber skies. Maybe we gotta change it to. Maybe we should change it to Slutty Vegas, like I said. I'm just trying to protect the school. We already said the color was purple.
So, I think as you are having this conversation, you start to hear an announcement. One, you start to hear commotion because students have been let into the school, and two, you hear an announcement by our principal, Jazz. As students head their way to class, please avoid please avoid the main gymnasium as we are in the middle of setting up for the Chili Charm dance.
What? They started setting up without us? Was this whole thing just a sham so that the adults could start setting up the Chili Charm dance without us? They're going to do it all wrong. They don't even have the purple crepe paper.
I think the unspeakable thing might be in the gym.
Well, let's go.
Let's go.
Absolutely run down to the gym. Connie is starting to think that the whole Make a Student Dance Committee was a distraction tactic to exact some wild prophecy at the dance. So Connie is feeling like extra justice seeking.
This is the problem. Adults create things that are big issues, and then they expect us to clean up the mess.
Yeah, and if we
Am I right?
and if we just had a slutty Vegas theme, like I said, none of this would have even been a problem. All right, we're gonna bust into the gym
Yeah.
with my crepe paper in hand and my Stanley Cup ready to stab, and my heels back on.
Okay. As you bust into the gym, it gets very bright. The being is in there, and now you understand the reason why Mac had shades on inside. And the being is running around the gym, and you can see like there are normal like teachers trying to subdue it and doing just a terrible job.
Oh my god, you have to video this, and then we could put like yakety sax behind it. We would get so many views.
Does the creature seem like emotionally charged right now?
Would you consider like a deer being like trapped in a bedroom to be emotionally charged? Like that was a weird choice, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think assessing the situation and going back to years of gentle parenting with her like magic speak, Connie is gonna cast take account on the creature.
okay.
I have 4 in feeling. I don't know if that will help, but and her whole thing is going to be she's going to offer authoritatively, using proper parenting. She's going to offer 2 choices to preserve the creature's sense of agency, but while both choices lead to a result that is beneficial to everyone. I'm assuming I have to roll now because that's an established spell.
Yeah, you would establish, or you would roll whatever that impulse is.
So I have 4, and this is just rolling dice, no letters. So I should roll 4 dice of these. I got a 5, a 3, and 2 6s.
I have a 3 and 2 6s.
Yeah.
So that is going to beat what I've rolled.
Okay. So do I just get to tell you what Connie does?
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
There is the way, we'll call this combat. It's very different from combat in many other systems. So, but the way a fight would work in this is based on the number of 6s and or successes. You get bonuses to the effect of whatever happens. And so since I got 0 successes, you had 2, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically a success and then a raise, right? Is what it would be. So, or the other way we can work with this is it can work as spirit damage. But for this specific roll, it's going to be a raise for a reason you'll learn here in a little bit. Yes. Go ahead and tell me what you're doing with this spell and what you'd like it to do.
So I think Connie, adopting a very calm body language, walks up and she, whatever size the creature is, she makes sure that she's like at that level. So if it's really big, she like stands on top of a table, and if it's really small, she like kind of gets down and she says, "Okay, I'm gonna need you to calm your body so that I can help you." And then she, because of the spell is successful, like she sort of is able to like take the feelings to a space, and she's like, we're going to take a count, right? And we have some options here. Clearly, the situation's not working for us right now. It's not working for you. We see that you're very upset, and we want to help solve the problem. We have a couple of choices. I'm going to offer you two choices. You can either tell us what's going on and let us help avoid distress, or you can like point us at something like you can show us what we need to do to help you. If you can't use your words right now, that's okay. You can show us and we'll follow and we'll try and help you.
I don't think this thing can has this being has exactly a way of, you know what, actually I think it does. So because it is a being made of darkness and light, of starry patterns, of suns and of novas, I think it does not have a mouth at this moment to speak with, which makes it pretty difficult. However, what it does have is light that it gives off.
Okay.
So I think it flashes purple and shimmery.
Okay. Okay.
So this is about the dance.
I'm gonna turn to the girls, and I'm gonna say, think about how much money we can save on a disco ball. We could get this beast just chill up and dance. That'd be so fun.
She's gonna kind of like side eye, like roll eyes and side eye at Mackie and turn back to the beast and say, okay, is this something about the dance? Are you upset about the dance? The chili charm cotillion?
It will spin around and flash purple once more.
Above the table, am I, because I know that we don't have 1,000 years for me to develop a language with this, is that yes?
Above the table, yeah.
Okay. All right.
You would, it is flashing the exact same color purple as the theme, as the crepe paper that is in somebody's hands right now.
Okay. Do we need to change the theme of the dance?
Oh my god, say you want it to be Slutty Vegas.
And there'll be a spin, but no purple.
Okay. I think she turns around to Mackie and says, I need you to know that I'm going to hate you. And she turns back to the creature and is like...
I wasn't even talking to you, Connie.
So the creature, so we got like a no indicator. Do we need to cancel the dance?
It'll spin and no purple.
Okay.
Amna's putting her hands on Mackie's shoulders like, it's just a conversation. No one's canceled the dance yet. It's okay.
I think that she takes some of the crepe paper and like hands it, like tries to give it to the creature. Above the table, I'm trying to figure out like what this thing wants, and I don't like...
It is still pretty agitated. And in fact, you probably don't get a lot more time because there are teachers running towards you. As this thing has sort of calmed down, they are now trying to like capture and chase, right?
Okay. So she
I would just like to buy Connie some time by turning to the teachers and casting Poach with Scheme. But which is to say,
Did you
I
pre-roll
am-
for poach? Did that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. I just, you had that so fast. I was like, what? Okay, keep going.
I'm like just driven by strategy and planning, and yeah. So yeah, and I'm gonna just be like to poach to basically poach, like encroach on their authority, and to be like, okay, this is a dance area. We are prepared. Like basically completely out of sync with what is actually going on. Like there's a giant creature of darkness and light behind me. There is a student talking to the creature. There is a Mackie. It doesn't matter. The point is that there is just like I'm just like calmly being like, okay, this is a dance area. Please clear out of the gym. And like talking to the teachers like I'm the teacher and they're the students. I'm just trying to be like convincingly be like, all right, this is not the dance is in 2 days. It's not time to get in here. You heard the announcement. We are not supposed to be in the gym. Come on, let's go.
Okay, and I'm gonna help you. I just pre-rolled as well for style, and I got scared. And so I am gonna start to pitch the biggest 15-year-old girl fit you have ever seen in your entire life to help you by scaring them away. I'm pitching this huge fit about the dance. And like having this absolute temper tantrum and reminding them that my mother was Miss Chili Charm 1993. And like so that they absolutely just want, like, I'm trying to help you make them leave.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's something like, come on, this is important. Look, we even have to listen to concerns from the student body about the dance. And I turned to Mackie, and Mackie's like saying
you
things.
remember what happened in 1993 when people got involved? Yeah, that's how we got. Yeah, we don't talk about the incident, do we?
As you see, we have a lot of things to deal with. Please.
You want another incident? I feel like I'm getting pregnant. Second.
Kindly leave the gym in single
Immediately.
file. Thank you. Thank you so much. Using the most like, you'll be in trouble if you don't leave. Adults are talking, channeling all that parent energy outwards.
They absolutely do not want to deal with this thing anymore and are ready to take any excuse to go, and they are gone.
Yes. Good.
While Connie is working with this creature, so Connie's experience with poetry is helpful here, and you remember the last line of the prophecy is silence those sighs, solemnize this slide to the sorceress side, which can easily think of solemnize is to become solemn, but it can also mean to have a ceremony.
Okay.
So you think there may be a ceremonial magical spell that you three must do together.
Ooh, to bring this being back into a wizard or magical person?
To free this creature in whatever way needs done. Because you're still not sure why or how or what or and to be honest, in this one shot, those questions will not be answered.
So, all right. In my tiny bag, I have a few more tampons, a very small notebook, and a lot of crepe paper, and some water from a Stanley cup. I'm gonna use my style to start to draw out a circle. Like with those items, I'm gonna make a magic circle around the beast. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna figure out something that that has to do with style that's going to help with the spell. But I don't know what it is yet, so I'm generating the tiles right now.
While you're doing that, does somebody else know what their contribution is going to be?
I think that using feeling or calm, Connie is going to attend to the emotional needs of the creature and like get them to like sort of tell them like, okay, we get it, we're gonna put together a thing, just it's okay, like to sort of calm and prepare them emotionally for the fact that their need is going to be met. And I'm gonna also figure out titles.
Totally.
I don't know what my contribution should be. I would just like to say that with reason, I have rolled some of the letters I have rolled are Mackie.
Okay. All right. We're gonna. If you want that to be your spell, I will make it make sense.
Okay.
So may I make a request?
Of course.
About how it makes sense?
Ooh,
may I make a request for who the creature is?
Ooh. Okay. Let's hear it.
It's my sister that we don't talk about, who was born at the Chili Charm Dance, or was conceived at the Chili Charm Dance in 1983, Mackie. And because my word is going to be sight, it was either going to be sight or sign, and so maybe what happens is we can see that it's the fourth sister who's been trapped in the ark room this whole time. It's a terrible beast because we don't talk about the incident.
I like where you're headed. 1 second. Jennifer, did you get something figured out over there?
I did. So I think I got, man, this would have been an awful Scrabble pull. I have 2 X's and a K out of this and a bunch of other things. So I rolled with like feeling, and I got fate. And so I think what
FATE?
Yeah, and it was FATE and a whole lot of, not a lot. That was what we got. Rolling
actually
with
works
4s and
perfectly.
6s. Yeah, and I think what she's gonna do is, by sort of developing this connection with the animal, like almost empathically kind of figures out the sort of fated path of this spell to contribute, and like how to sort of guide this creature to what they're supposed to be doing.
And you can see the person because of sight. And she looks a lot like Mackie, but from the 90s. She has platform boots, black tights, a flowered, like scoop neck, short sleeve dress on, a collar.
A choker?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, a choker. With a chili charm on it.
Nice. Okay.
And I know I just said we probably wouldn't get into how and why, but we literally, that is what the spell has drawn us to. So we're going to do that now. So with your fate spell, I think you do connect. There's almost like a mind meld sharing going on here. And you get moments of the past of a previous in fact the 1993 Chili Charm Committee getting together. Their theme was a million mirrors.
Bloody Vegas.
Their theme was Slutty Vegas. Their theme was absolutely Slutty Vegas.
And that's why it can never be again.
That's why. Their theme was Slutty Vegas. And so they decided they needed a disco ball. And they, in fact, tried to create a disco ball out of, I think it actually is I'm trying to find my way to this one, to be honest with you, but I think Mackie's mother was fully involved, whether she was the subject of the spell or just contributed very strongly to it. We can figure that
help?
out. Yes.
Can I help to make it so that we aren't turning a fetus into a disco ball?
Because that was what I was trying to avoid. Right. Yes.
Okay, so I think it's her brainchild.
It's her brain. Thank you. That's the direction I was kind of heading.
Yeah. Brainchild. She's eating nuts, and she's like eating a snack for protein, and she has this brainchild that they need a giant disco ball. And she has like a nut in her hand, around like that, the shape of a back baby, and that's what they sort of think of it. There you go. That's all.
I want to add to that and say that instead of like she's eating nuts, that they're trying to decide the playlist for the dance, and they have all these CDs around them. And they're like, what if we create a disco out of CDs? And so like they try to wrangle a spell, and then there are just shards of broken CDs suddenly, and it's like coalesce into this creature. And it kind of, because it's Mackie's mother that was like involved the most, it kind of takes all of the music, all of the teen angst that she's feeling, and like and hope for the future, and creates this creature that is part of her both wanting to get out of this teen angst bubble, but also be the best version of herself, and accidentally creates like a brainchild.
And that's why they hate magic so much and pretend to be normal, because Mackie's mom actually had magic the whole time, but never does. Ever since that incident, has never discussed it. And Mackie just assumed it was like a sister, like a baby that she had. She would assume that her mom got pregnant at the chili cheese, or the chili charm dance, and not that she would have magic. It would be more likely. That's how unexpected it is. You're welcome.
I think we fade out on this ceremony. Actually, well, we don't fade out there, but we see this ceremony happen with the three of you each pouring your own spell work into it, and each almost, you can see the main column of the spell is the purple of the dance, but each spell coming from you has a color related to each girl's personality, each character's personality that merges to create that purple. That purple is not the color in itself, but a representation of the melding of the three of your colors. And you can see the sort of being of celestial light sort of absorbing all of that purple. And then there is a quiet second as the spells start to fade, and all of a sudden all of the stars start to glow. And there is sort of an implosion as CD shards come out and stick themselves in the walls of the gymnasium all around. And I think we fade out on a couple of small vignettes from the Chili Charm Dance. So the first vignette is we actually fade and we see the CDs are still stuck there as part of the decoration for the Chili Charm Dance. I think one of the vignettes has to be winning. Was it Miss Chili Charm? Queen Chili Charm? I don't quite remember. Okay.
Miss Chili Charm.
Miss Chili Charm. Okay. I think that has to happen. What would the other two? Each of you, I would say, gets a vignette. What would the other two like to have?
I think the other vignette for Connie is the chess team is so impressed with what we've been able to bring together to the Chili Charm Festival is that they all convert to veganism, and they decide to upcycle some of their old chess boards as helping compost them, the cardboard for the organic garden.
Absolutely.
I actually think that Mac has had a lot of introspection and has decided that given everything that's happened and like the new like relationship she has with her mother and all that complexity, she is gonna actually rig Miss Chili Cheese. I want to call it Chili Cheese Dog. Miss Chili Cheese Dog, Miss Chili Charm Dance, and unexpectedly the dark horse candidate of Juno from the debate team. But she with the power of her social gravitas, she does not let anyone do anything but take it non-ironically. Like, it's not like a joke. Like, she is the only one who could have rigged it, and she never would. Right? So Juno unexpectedly wins, and the only one who knows for sure is Mackie with 2 Ks and 1 I.
That's amazing. We do see a shot of Juno later that night writing in her diary that is a yellow legal pad about the day. Anyway.
Does she at least have a cute pen now?
Yeah, it's like one of those feathery fountain pens for sure. Yeah. And then last but not least,
I think for Anna, the fact that they got together and resolved such a poignant arc at the school means that the reflection that she has gone through has meant that she like would have ordinarily been wearing like, again, layers upon layers of fabric, and instead is wearing this tube dress of like glittery purple to be like, I am what I am, and what I am is enough.
I love that. And that, I think, is where we fade out of this game.
Yay!
Yay! I'll keep this short and sweet because we have run on way long for our late night friend over here. So thank you all for watching the One-Shot Wonderarium. We have the ats for each of these folks. Go follow them, go engage with them, go support them. They do awesome things. Thank you so much. And I think we've posted some of that stuff in chat. So go ahead and check out their amazing stuff. And we hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the One-Shot Wonderarium. We love you, and it's a wild world out there. Take a friend.